Oh, yeah! Look at you! Come on! Let's go, Benny. Welcome in, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan. I scare you a little bit?
Yeah, you weren't that excited like 30 seconds ago.
It was brewing. It was brewing and bubbling, and man, holy smokes. Can't start off a season or a show any better than that. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan. Let's get right into it, man. Let's just catch up and say hello. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Another Victory Monday here on Ben and Woods this morning. Very excited. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning. I did not see you guys yesterday.
Nope.
You guys saw each other.
Saw each other. Me and Paulie see each other every day for 2 months.
We saw everybody on Saturday at our Tom's Watch Bar show. So we've seen a lot of each other recently.
We have.
No doubt about that.
I mean, and there's no reason to bicker or anything. The Pods are off to a great start. A phenomenal start. If they came in here 1-3.
You can always nitpick here or there. Actually, you really can.
You can. You absolutely can.
Oh, Jason Hayward is in the crosshairs this morning.
I've seen it. I saw it yesterday. I saw it last night on Twitter, and I went, all right, guys, come on, man. Let's get the guy, Luis Arise. Why didn't we trade this guy? Look, there's always going to be nitpicking. But, man, you can't ask for anything more from your baseball team to come out and beat what should be a really, really good Braves team this year. Again, there are a couple of men down, certainly. Could have been a different series. But, man, it was again, I was inspired. I was inspiring baseball by our San Diego Padres to start the season.
It was fun baseball.
Yeah, it was fun baseball, Shilty. I couldn't agree more. We're going to talk to the skipper, Mike Schilt, on Friday this week, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. And looking forward to that. Going to go every other week with the skipper here in 2025, which is fine. You don't need Shilty every week. I feel like it'll be better for our relationship.
He doesn't need us.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Is that bi-monthly or does that mean
know.
every
I never
other
know.
month? Is that bi-weekly?
Bi-curious that we're doing that. I have no idea
Does
what.
bi-weekly mean every other week or twice
a
per
week? I don't know.
By definition, bi-weekly means I get paid twice a week. Never had a bi-weekly job, but apparently it means every other week. Bi-monthly should mean twice a month. That sounds right. You do get paid twice a month.
Then what is every other month? What's the word for that?
Who gets paid every other month, though?
No one.
Every other month would be tri-monthly. So January,
No,
not February.
Month. Or maybe that means 3 times a month. I don't know.
Anyway, we're going to have him
We're going to figure this out for the next 4 hours.
Yes,
every other
topic
week
for the day.
Every other week we will have the skipper, Mike Schilt. And excited, man. Baseball season for us, you guys know how seriously we take it, how much we love it. Not that we don't take it seriously the rest of the year. We do. Those shows are much more difficult to structure and get guests on that you guys may be interested in and have interesting conversations. I think we do a good job of it. But, man, this is our time to shine during baseball season. I love that you guys make us your home to check out. I got so many texts and tweets yesterday. God, can't wait for the show tomorrow. Can't wait till Ben and Woods is on to talk Padres baseball. And we will, man. We will talk about every single game. It was a really, really special showing by the hometown ball club, man. Winning 4 at home is staggering. They were very mediocre at home to start the season last year. They were a very mediocre period to start the season last year. And to get 4 under your belt, it's a good start. It's a really, really good start.
I was surprised when I learned, and being, a Padres fan my whole life, that they've only started 4-0 once ever before this.
Yeah.
1984.
84. Went to the World Series.
I mean, I know that the Padres haven't been a particularly good franchise. 4-0 isn't exactly the craziest start.
Not
ever.
at all. It's not like 14-0 or 18-0.
Exactly.
Right.
And they've never started 5-0 in franchise history.
I mean, good time to do it now. Good time to do it. But how was everybody's weekend? I know, again, we saw each other Saturday, worked down at Tom's Watch Bar for a couple hours. That was great.
Thank you to everybody who showed up to that.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming down. That place was really cool. I had a buddy text yesterday. He goes, hey, is it really legit? I go, get your ass down there. Get those deep dish nachos.
You were so correct. I was dying.
Oh, I bet.
I was dying because I left early to make my golf, which I didn't
didn't even make.
I missed my tee time by a few minutes. Fortunately, they let me. catch up quickly, and I did not play that well, but at least
Well, I wonder why.
Yeah, I'm running to the
Just panic.
16 I'm on the 16th tee because it's a shotgun. I'm like running out there, like
You know what's really good for golf?
Yeah.
Getting your heart rate way up before you play in a tournament. Not having any warm-up shots is so
and not having
good.
eaten anything.
Not having eaten anything.
We're at Tom's Watch Bar. They keep telling us about this amazing food that's coming. And I go, okay, come on, bring it. I want to try it. And of course,
They never did.
They didn't bring it. The second I leave, I hop in the car, turn on the radio, and I hear Woods and Paul going, oh, this is so good. These deep dish nachos, and prime rib dip sandwich. And I'm going, I wanted one so badly.
Oh, dude, so sorry about that, man. And I was so bummed when you told me the traffic was pretty bad coming back up, and we had to drive to LA in it after we got done with Tom's watch party. And the drive, man, if there's anyone out there who's ever gone more than 12 miles an hour on the 405, raise your hand. I don't believe you. I don't believe it's ever been done in the history of automotive travel. The minute you get onto the 405, it's like, and you just stop.
I was once coming home from Santa Barbara. I called a USD UCSB game, drove up for the day, through the traffic on the 405, which I expected. It was the afternoon. Drove back. It was like 1 a.m. And I'm going, there's not going to be a traffic at 1 a.m.
Construction.
Dead stop. 1 a.m. Like, really? Really?
It's the worst. It's got to be the worst highway in America. It has to be, right? What is worse than the 405, man? There is nothing. So a 110-mile drive from my front door to Hollywood took us 2 hours and 45 minutes. I mean, you're just dying in there. And then Waze takes you in these funky little directions. So we're driving through. I mean, it was Hannah's like, roll them up. You know what I mean? As we're driving through this one area, graffiti everywhere. It was crazy. I was like, what is going on? Where are we? Like, we were like at Skid Row. It was nuts. Made it to our hotel, went to the concert that night, the Garden State 20th anniversary concert, which was really awesome. Didn't know what to expect, but Zach Braff came out and he did his little spiel, and it was for the Midnight Mission in Hollywood, a homeless shelter that does great work. And it was cool. And he rolled out, Paula, you've seen the movie Garden State, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Rips the cover off the motorcycle that he drove in the movie. And he's like, look, Natalie Portman could not be here because, well, she lives in Paris. And all of a sudden, Natalie Portman walks out on stage, right? Incredible. And then the bands came out and played, and it was really spectacular and magical. And the one band I was most excited to see is a band called Remy Zero. And I've gotten to meet them before, gotten to hang with them a little bit before. They split up 15 years ago. And it was the first time they'd been on stage together in 15 years. And he said the only person that could have gotten us back together was Zach. So thank you. I love you. We're happy to be here. Then proceeded to sing the most beautiful song from the movie and just butchered it entirely. So that was, I think he might have had a few cocktails or was nervous or something. But the thing I was most looking forward to seeing was probably the worst act on the entire bill.
But you sent this video of Colin Hay from
God.
Men
Men at Work,
which was pretty incredible.
He sounds so good. Got a standing ovation. Thievery Corporation was there. 07 was there. It was really special. It was really cool. And you remember how much you loved those songs, 20 years ago when the soundtrack came out and just went to the moon. It was cool. Danny DeVito came out on stage because he was the executive producer of that movie. He's the one that greenlit it after he read the script.
Did he bring you some Jersey Mike's?
He did not bring me Jersey Mike's, but he did come out and do a little spiel and stuff. Donald Faison from Scrubs. The girl that was in Scrubs, I can't remember her name. I didn't watch Scrubs. Hannah did. The blonde,
I don't remember
the blonde girl,
yeah.
Sarah, maybe.
Sarah Chalky.
Sarah Chalky. She was there. Sarah Paulson was there. It was a star-studded event in LA, and it was a lot of fun.
I grew up with Scrubs. Loved it.
Yeah.
Fun hospital comedy show.
Yep.
And I've always loved that Zach Braff and Donald Faison, the two characters from that show, they are absolute best friends. They
best buddies.
Go to Disneyland together with their families. They're best friends in real life. I've always thought that was fun.
They were great. It was a great night. I mean, it really was a beautiful night full of a lot of music. And the cool thing was, man, is only a couple of artists did multiple songs. Like Iron and Wine did multiple songs. The Shins did multiple songs. But really it was like they walk out, they play their hit, from the sound check, and they're like, all right, we'll see you later. And then they bounce. And then the next act comes up 30 seconds later. I mean, it was really cool. They did a good job with it. They raised a ton of money. And it was, it's one of one. I told Hannah, I said, this will never happen again. The 20th anniversary show will never happen again. And we got to be there. So it was pretty special. It was her favorite movie. We had a great, great time. Got up super early yesterday. Now, that's how you do LA. You leave LA at 5:45 in the morning, and we zipped home in about an hour and 20 minutes. So it was a no-brainer. And then, got home. We had a baseball game, Paulie and I did. We won that game, came home, watched the Padres win. It was really a great weekend. Great weekend all around. I want to talk about your new schedule too, Benny. Okay. I think this is a huge, huge day.
Yeah, I had to get dressed this morning.
He's dressed up.
We're going to start doing things a little differently at Channel 10 starting today. I'm going to be working more of a day shift and going straight in most days from radio to television to do more in-depth Padres coverage. Like today, I've got a piece on Jackson Merrill. I talked to him last night, went to the game.
Look at this guy.
Talked to him in
Jackson Merrill.
Look at this
in the
guy.
clubhouse after the game, brought my camera, going to do a story on him. It's his bobblehead night, and off to a good start again in his second season. So I'm going to do a kind of a special. And we're not going to do the full regular sports segment, which does seem, after all these years on local TV, to be a bit dated.
Trite.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the right word, trite?
I don't know if trite is the word exactly, but after all these
dated
years,
is,
if you really want to get Padres highlights, most people know how to just hop them up on their phone as soon as the game's over at any time. So making people wait until 11:25 at night and stay up to get Padres highlights. But what about good, insightful, original Padres content? I think there's still definitely a market for that. So I'm going to be focused on that most of the summer and which means I'll be down at the ballpark more like I was last night. I went for a few innings and then stayed after the game, got to be in the clubhouse, talked to Xander, talked to Jackson, talked to Nick Pivetta.
I love it.
After his start.
Look at our guy.
Got some sound last night. We can pull that if we want from my social media feed. So we get some new stuff. And yeah, it's totally a life change for me, though, in that I used to go home after radio for a couple hours and,
drive all the way
back to North County and then drive all the way back down. Now I'm going to usually stay down here and then hopefully get home at a reasonable hour, like 6:30 or so at night after I'm done with my day, and maybe even get a reasonable bedtime in after the Padres game is over.
Like a normal person that just starts their day a little bit earlier.
Correct.
Right? Like we've all done those days where we've gotten up, come in, done the show, and worked till 6, 7 o'clock. Those are long days. You've had meetings, and Paulie does a ton of production and things like that. Now, though, there's no getting home at 11:30 midnight, then having to get up at 4:30 to come in and do a show. You're going to be like a human being again. It's weird.
We'll see you at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, 5 a.m. is the new call time.
I did get here at the same time as Woods
He
this
beat
morning.
me this morning.
I beat him by a
I
couple
go,
minutes,
whoa. I pulled in. I was like, what is he doing here? So, yeah, he's look at this. It's a huge
no
lifestyle.
More Carlos, no more late night broadcast. You probably won't see me unless it's on tape sometimes in the 11 p.m. And we'd already changed. So last week we switched World News. We used to be at 6. Now it's at 5:30. So it changes, or it used to be at 6:30. Now it's at 5:30. So it changes our whole evening schedule anyway. So my sports segment that used to be at 6:20 wasn't going to be there anymore. So this seemed like a good time to make the overall change to our sports coverage. And we're going to, it's work in progress. Anytime you're trying something new, you probably have to make some adjustments as you go. But, I'm excited about it for the most part. Obviously, change is scary.
It's very scary.
Routines. I'm going to have to figure out, when am I pelotoning? Like it's 6:30, 7 o'clock when I get home tonight at night, because I don't want to lose everything that I've gained, but I will figure it out as we go. And ultimately, I think it's going to be a good thing for us, good thing for me, good thing for the show. Really, overall, going to be a very positive, good thing, hopefully, for the viewers as well.
I think here's an idea. Bring a real bike to work. Then you bike down
around
to
downtown to all my stories.
Bike down to Channel 10 after the show, right?
And bike back here.
And then bike back here to get your car after work. I'm happy for you. I think it's great. Anytime that you can not get home at 11 or midnight, in my book, and you also do morning radio, is a good thing. I love that you're going to be down there around the team more, getting more audio and things like that. I think that's great. And I will join you on some of those excursions down there as well. So really, really happy for you, dude. I think you're going to be back to being a human being again.
All right. I am excited because in addition to setting the menu when we come back, I also want to set our schedule for the season. We've pretty much locked it down. Our daily guests that you will hear every single week talking baseball, talking Padres. We've got some of your old favorites coming back. We've got some newcomers to the lineup this year for our baseball coverage all summer long here on Ben & Woods and 97.3 The Fan. So we'll let you know what we've got coming up today and then the rest of the week when we set the menu coming up next, getting things started here on a Monday. Kelly's got some traffic. Appreciate all the tier ones getting up early, talking Padres baseball. The 4-0 San Diego Padres right here on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Some things change, like my schedule, like our guest lineup, but some things stay the same. And 7 Mile Casino remains the best card room in San Diego, as it has been for years and years. When we first started talking about it, Woods, made my first visit there probably now 6-7 years ago.
Yep.
And was amazed when I walked in the door. I go, this place is way nicer than I expected. I mean, I definitely can hang out here, and I now have many times over the last few years.
Yeah, if you want high-stakes games, they got you covered there at 7 Mile Casino. They can take your action there. I'm more of a casual player myself, but they can handle anything that you've got. They got California-style blackjack, Pai Gow, poker, Pai Gow, Baccarat, and Texas Hold'em as well. Phenomenal food, smoke-free environment. Best part, just 7 minutes from downtown San Diego. Cannot beat it.
No, you cannot. I love the patio, especially in the summer coming up right there on San Diego Bay. TVs all over the place. You're going to absolutely love 7 Mile. Don't take it from us, though. Just go check it out yourself at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
New season, new lineup for Ben and Woods. Daily guests that you have come to know and love. Some will be back. We've changed some things up as well, starting with our new Monday regular. And we are excited to welcome from The Athletic today at 8:35 and every Monday this season. Dennis Lynn is going to be part of our new lineup of Padres coverage. D-Lynn will join us every Monday so we can break down the weekend and all the stories and the deep dives that he does in The Athletic on the team. Will now be part of your Ben and Woods weekly coverage of the San Diego Padres.
Kind of drunkenly, opening day, put my arm around him, and I said, welcome to the family. It's great to have you on every Monday. And he was very excited as well.
I more professionally, when I saw him yesterday,
Shook his hand.
Excited to have you as part of the team. Looking forward to talking to you tomorrow, Dennis.
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
Just a different approach than mine.
Tuesdays, Jesse Agler will return for another season of The Incorporator. Jesse's on board and excited to be with us every Tuesday morning. Again, the voice of the Padres. That's become a Ben and Woods tradition over the past, 6 years now. Jesse always joining us on Tuesdays. Wednesday will be, we're calling it Big League Wednesday, but instead of Adam Jones every week, we've got Brett Boone coming up bi-weekly, which we decided was every other week.
Bi-monthly.
Or bi-monthly, one of the two.
Twice a month.
Twice a month. And then we'll have a rotating guest of some of our other favorites.
Correct.
I'm sure we'll talk to AJ during the course of the year. He now works for the Baltimore Orioles.
That's right.
So
He's busy.
A busy man.
He's busy.
Busy man, but it'll be a Big League Wednesday, so we'll have some of our favorite Big League guests. On Thursday, yes, I know, people worried, is he going to be back? Yes, he will. Smart Baseball with Enos Saris returns on Thursdays here on Ben and Woods. And then on Friday, not only is it Friar Friday with our bi-monthly Mike Schilt appearances and other
boy.
Padres guests from management
Good.
on Fridays and some players as well. Sammy Levitt will also be with us. In season, Sammy is going to check in Fridays to help us preview the weekend and wrap up the week. That was with his fantastic Padres coverage. So there you go. There's the new lineup in season for Ben and Woods with our guests.
It's quite a labor of love to get it all dialed in. It takes a lot of massaging and a lot of phone calls and a lot of begging, frankly, on some of our parts to figure it out. But I'm glad we do it, man. It's nice to know what you can. It's nice to come in and be like, today's Dennis, tomorrow's Jesse, next day's Booney, the next day's this guy. Like, I love that about this, how we do it in baseball season. We're going to keep trying to up the game every single year, man, trying to make it a little bit better for you guys. Now,
we're not even done yet.
No, we're not done. There's still some things floating out in the ether that could materialize that would be pretty badass. And it's not as easy as one would think. I will just leave it at that. It takes a lot of elbow grease to get it done, but thanks to everyone that's committed right now. Yes, the Roundtable is back. Roundtable is back. It starts on Thursday, brought to you by Roundtable Pizza.
Roundtable Pizza is back as a sponsor, which means they will feed us well this season again.
Here's the thing. Do we know the cast of characters on the Roundtable yet?
I believe
it getting big? Is it?
I believe Adam has twisted everybody's arm.
Everybody.
To make it an entire 97.3 The Fan production. The last person whose arm had to be twisted is guy to my left over here. Paulie Reindl,
Paulie,
who has always stubbornly refused to join us for an extra hour on Thursdays.
Paulie's smart.
I mean, like once or twice.
Yeah,
when needed.
You filled in for me
the bullpen
a couple times. Do we have enough chairs? Do we have enough microphones?
That's the thing.
Well, usually someone, whether it's Tony's traveling or someone's got something, that there's generally a missing person, which means now we have a bigger lineup to try to fill from so we can have a full round table every week.
Yeah, I was told, I was talking with Adam yesterday and he said, hey, do you want to do, he's like, you don't want to do the round table, right?
The old guilt trip.
I go, no, not really.
Yeah. No, what's been heaped upon Paulie the last month as far as work goes is enough to buy him exemption from the round table. All the promos and stuff he's had to cut. Like in my book, I'd be like, yeah, you don't need to do the round table, bro.
Yeah, well, he goes, we need a new open. We got a new tagline.
Right,
for
all
round
the
table.
stuff.
So I make all that. He goes, can you make a new graphic because the cast has changed? And I'm like, okay. And then he goes, I'm still waiting to hear back from Scraby if he wants to do it. You don't want to do it, right?
You can't be the only producer
that
doesn't do it.
If Scraby's doing it too, that means everybody
on-air
talent from all three shows is doing the roundtable except for me. I go, well, I don't want that either.
You can't have that.
So I guess what I'm saying is fine. I'll do it.
I can't wait.
And then he goes, well, now that I'm thinking about it, we only have 6 chairs and 6 microphones. So on the weeks where everybody's there, maybe you and Scraby will have to decide who wants to do it.
Like, let's make them do a contest every week. All right, we got an open chair. Here we go. It's Paulie against Scraby. I'm down, actually.
Just go into the 94.9 studio and duke it
just
out.
Duke it out.
One person leaves.
Arm wrestling. Yeah, man. So Matthew, who does not like Jake and Jordan, you guys aren't having Jake and Jordan this year.
Yeah,
I think we will as needed. Instead of
today would actually be a great day to have them on. They originated the MOP.
The MOP term.
The term MOP.
A 4-game sweep is more than a sweep. It's a MOP.
It's a MOP. But yeah. So wait. So 1, 2, 3. Braden 4, 5, 6, 7 max, right? But possibly mostly 6. Tony.
I mean, Tony won't be there this week.
Right.
He's in
traveling.
Chicago.
Exactly. Okay. I like this. Now, yeah, Ben, that's more it's more cooks in the kitchen. That's more that you're gonna have to do to rein everybody
more
in.
Cats to herd.
There's more cats there. You're like, it's now like you're coaching a T-ball team too.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're pretty good at it. So I'm not too worried about it. That starts on this Thursday.
Thursday, 10 o'clock, commercial free, presented by Roundtable Pizza from 10 to 11. So I know it's must-listen radio for everybody. So we are back doing it again this year. We will jump into our Padres talk, our Padres wrap-up.
What is a
What is
wrap
a
up?
wrap-up?
Padres Wrap-Up.
I heard that
I
too.
didn't hear that.
Let's get the old
all right.
Padres wrap up.
Wrap
in.
up coming up next.
Let's actually change it to the wrap
And
up.
we also will
I'm saving it right now.
we'll also talk about the big SDFC win
Oh,
on Saturday night.
Mm.
We are down to a Final Four in college basketball as well, but
we
our
are.
focus will be we are.
Oh,
You didn't realize that.
Nope.
Yeah, down to 4 teams left in the tournament. But our focus will, of course, be on the Padres. Their 4-0 start.
Final Four's already set, huh?
It is.
When's it start?
It's all 4-1 seeds.
Chalky.
Chalky, and where
Yeah.
where is it?
It's in San Antonio
When?
next Saturday.
I mean, next Saturday.
And then
Yeah.
championship on Monday.
Chalk. But Padres wrap up coming up next to the 5-0 win over the Atlanta Braves last night on Sunday Night Baseball. We will get to that next year on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, gang, it's Woodsy for Eco Water. If you've been buying bottled water, no, don't do that, right? If you've been buying the giant jugs and having them delivered to your home, and you have to lug them inside, then load them onto the filter machine, don't do that either. It's a phone call away. Just call Eco Water. We trust them in our house. They've been keeping water soft since 1925, guys. It's not about just protecting your home, the pipes and everything. With a reverse osmosis system, you get that bottled quality water straight from the tap. Literally, you can drink it from the tap. I fill up my kids' water bottles for the night in the tap, in the bathroom. Eco Water's alkaline filters take hydration to the next level. We've got Eco Water SoCal in our house. Let me tell you, it's a total game changer. The skin feels better. Coffee tastes better. Hannah and the boys are just, everybody loves it in our home. You can absolutely taste the difference. So also, clean water deserves clean air. Eco Water SoCal has state-of-the-art air purification, removes 99.99% of pollutants. Now we've got pure water, fresh air, and a happy family, all thanks to Eco Water SoCal. So try the Soft Life and alkaline water for just $9.95 a month, 760-350-3338, or go to ecowatersocal.com, 760-350-3338, or ecowatersocal.com. Tell them Woodsy sent you, because your water should be perfect.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
The moment that everyone's been waiting for, right? Myself included. We were talking about this in the dugout yesterday with Paulie. The wrap-up.
The wrap-up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we call it the wrap-up. You called it the wrap-up, and I think maybe it needs to just be the wrap-up now. The wrap-up.
I don't know. I need to hear the. We might have to rewind the tape at some point.
Okay.
I don't know that I said wrap-up.
You did. Because I heard it and Paulie heard it, and everyone in the chat heard it.
Feel
You
like
might
I
have
said
said
that.
it.
Yeah, he said
Now, whatever it's called, we'll have Jesse and Tony's highlights of yesterday's 4-0 win. We'll break it down for you coming up after a check of traffic here on 97 Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Hamul Casino. Got a crash clearing on westbound 54 right before the 5. Several vehicles over to the right shoulder. Also watch out for a stalled car northbound 125 before the 8. That is in the center divide. And you still see some activity on the coastline. Northbound 54 Las Pulgas. An early morning fatal accident in which a pedestrian was struck. Everything is over to the right shoulder. Just take it extra carefully if you're heading through that area. Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, where you can play your heart out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. Opening this summer, Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Learn more at hamulcasino.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Miss any of the Padres win yesterday? Ben and Woods didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got you covered with all of the highlights.
Oh, yes.
It's the Padres Wrap-Up, brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
I want to go fast, but I want to go slow, and I want to go deep.
Here's the 1-0. And he swings, hits it in the air, deep to right field. Kelnick's going back. He turns around to watch. It's off the base of the wall. Tatis scores. Machado's on his way to second. Here's the throw and the tag. Not in time. RBI double off the fence for Manny. And the Padres take a 1-0 lead. Xander Bogaerts' first pitch swinging. Lines one down the left field line. A fair ball. Going to roll to the corner. Cronenworth being waved at third base by Tim Leeper. He's on his way. No relay to the plate. An RBI double for Xander Bogaerts. And the Padre lead is 2-0. Here's Olsen, 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch swinging, ground ball to second. Cronenworth from the outfield grass, a throw to first. How about Nick Pivetta, 7 shutout innings in his Padre debut. Here's 2-0. Merrill swings, sends it in the air to left center field, pretty well struck. Profar back to the gap, not going to get there. Looks up, bangs off the wall. Fernando rounding third. He's going to come in and score. Jackson Merrill has provided some insurance. An RBI double in the 7th, and the Padres lead it 3-0. Ground ball up the middle, kicks off Adam, rolls to Manny, goes to the bare hand. Throw to first is in time. Now a throw back to second, and it got him! Ozuna took too wide of a turn, thinking third base was unoccupied, and Manny Machado was all over it. Threw behind him at second base, and I think it was Arise, the first baseman, who ended up tagging him out. What a double play to end the top of the 8th inning. There's Santa Rennie, another 1-2. Lockridge hits it in the air down the right field line. That is a fair ball. Gonna bounce and roll into the corner. Kelnick's got to go and get it. Bogarts has scored. It's another RBI double as Lockridge makes it 4-0 here in the 8th. 1-1 to Tatis, lined over Riley, got a piece of it, but it trickles behind him into left field. Lockridge has scored. Fernando going to try for 2. They throw there, and he's tagged out. Tatis signaling that he wants a challenge at second base. It is, though, an RBI hit, and the Padre lead will be 5-0. Now the 1-2. De La Cruz swings and misses. Strike 3, 98 from Estrada, who strikes out this side, and he and Adam and Pivetta combine on a one-hit shutout as the Padre pitchers face the minimum, sweep the Braves, and start 4-0 for just the second time in franchise history.
Oh, he's fantastic. I mean, Nick really welcome to San Diego. Nick Pivetta, right? I mean, dominated counts, life on his heater, really, really good curveball. Sweeper was good. 2-seamer, 9 ground balls, 4 punch outs. You know, ground balls early. Like I said, he controlled counts. Got some early outs, which allowed him to go, you know, a 7-inning. Really masterful game from Nick in his debut with the Padres.
82 pitches to get through 7 shutout innings. Gave up the 1 hit, retired that on a double play, so faced the minimum 21 batters. Yeah, as Jesse said, Padres faced just the 27 batters, 27 outs, got the 2 double plays, the 2 times a guy got on base. Pretty much a miserable night for the Atlanta Braves last night at Petco Park.
You know how Crony last year had 1 home run off a lefty? I think we had 1 Sunday win from the San Diego Padres to talk about on a Monday. That's how it at least feels to me. We were in the dugout laughing about it yesterday, like, hey, man, I don't know. Padres have won 3 straight, and they're on Sunday Night Baseball, and it's a Sunday, and Ben and Woods broadcast on Monday. I'd bet the farm on the Atlanta Braves, and the Padres said, absolutely not. We are taking this 4th game, and we are going to mop these fools and get them out of here. And what awaits the Braves? Good luck. Now you have to go play the Dodgers. I mean, they're in real danger of starting their season 0-7, Benny. The Dodgers are no joke. They'll for their troubles, they'll get Dustin May today, I believe, or Glasnow today, Dustin May tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, welcome to the NL West. It has been a juggernaut so far. Everyone's playing well, except for the Rockies, as we kind of expected. But I couldn't be more impressed with what I saw from Nick Pivetta. And again, you don't want to overstate it, but tell me that there's not some Ruben Niebla influence in the way that guy is pitching right now.
In fact, I was reading Kevin Acey's newsletter this morning, and he specifically, and I saw him go over when I was in the clubhouse last night and whisper a couple of things to Ruben. And now I know exactly what they were talking about.
He said, hey, Poppy, I love you.
He said, he was asking, so, okay, what changes have you already implemented with Nick Pivetta? And the biggest change so far from his time with the Red Sox is shifting him over to the first base side of the mound. Yep. And he wrote some of the reasoning behind it, that he was from the third base side. He had a tendency to pull across either outside, or when he was trying to throw it inside, would pull it across and leave it over the plate.
Sure.
And that left Nick Pivetta, he tended to give up a lot of home runs.
He did
when he was in Boston. And Nick was very, after the game, when we talked to him, was like, okay, guys, it's 1 start. It's a great start, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Calm your jets.
After just 1. But it was, it was a great outing.
Cool your jets.
Maybe we're seeing a little bit of the Ruben Niebla influence. He certainly seems to have a little magic touch when it comes to, small tweaks and changes that pitchers make once they come to the Padres that just tend to make them more effective and more consistent. And what a great beginning to his Padres career. He couldn't ask for any more from Nick Pivetta.
No. I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful performance from what is now, I guess, your number 4 starter. And they'll mix and match, I guess, when they need to, depending on what the schedule allows and dictates. But again, Fernando Tatis Jr., Ben, setting the tone at the top of the lineup with another 2 hits. Machado.
Now, one of them, the first one, was a complete accident.
It's still a knock, my friend. You still have to get that ball down the line. And by the way, a lot of guys would have been satisfied with just a lucky single. He stretched it to 2 and ends up scoring in the first inning.
I was incensed, though, that it was the ESPN Sunday night game, and Mudd wasn't there to finally enjoy
if he hits
the fruits of his career, because he hit it, And it was a double. And I don't think it would have been, they mentioned, I don't think it would have been a swinging strike had he not hit it. He checked. He didn't even go across the zone, but it hit his bat. It rolled down the line, turned into the double. And then Manny, who remember on Saturday had to come out of the game with what they told us was just a leg cramp. And he said, I'll be okay. He was back in the lineup yesterday. Does one of those great opposite field Manny drives off the wall to bring him in. Padres actually could have had a really big inning there in the bottom of the first. Jared Kelenic robbed Jackson Merrill, who I absolutely laced one into the corner. I thought it might be a home run. Certainly thought it was going to be a double or a triple. Kelenic made a fantastic grabber. The Padres might have put that game away much earlier than they did. So the Braves kind of kept into it, but then Padres loaded the bases in the second inning. Did not score. Luis Ariz came up with the bases loaded, so good with runners in scoring position. Stung one to the outfield, but he just cannot seem to find anything but gloves to start the season. Now 0 for 13 to begin the season for Luis Ariz.
Which is exactly how he started last season.
True.
For the Marlins, he won the batting title.
He did win another batting title last year.
He did.
Then in the third inning, Xander came through with a 2-out double after a Jake Cronenworth walk to give him a 2-0 lead. A nice clutch hit for Xander, who's reached base in every single game.
Yep.
Has an extra base hit now, so that was nice. And then, you saw him after Pivetta's 7 innings. They added some offense in the 7th and the 8th, pull away for that 5-0 win for the second 4-0 start in franchise history.
Gavin Sheets caught a couple more barrels. Lockridge comes in, pinch hit appearance, gets a knock, drives in a run, insurance-wise. I mean, look, this is a brand of Padres baseball that everyone has been fiending for. They are an absolute delight to watch play the game so far through 4 games. A delight. I mean, good defense, heady defense. Yes, they're getting some breaks. The ball is bouncing their way right now. Great. Take it and take that luck and run with it as long as you can. It's not like they're playing crappy baseball and getting lucky, though. We've seen that before with teams. Like, they're not even playing well and they're getting all these, bounces and breaks going their way. No, they're also playing really good baseball, and the ball just happens to be bouncing in their favor right now. But, man, this entire – since they started on opening day, Ben – incredible bullpen. My God, an incredible bullpen.
So Jason Adam walks a guy. Looks like,
Yeah, he totally lost the plot there.
But I understand why they took him out after 7 innings, even 82 pitches. It's a first start of the year.
100%.
And you got Jason Adam now rested after a day off. So you bring in Adam, and then he walks the first guy on 4 pitches, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, man, are we going to give up all of our great ground that we got? And then he gets the double play, the very heady play, where Manny hits off of Adams' foot. Manny charges, gets the guy at first.
You would have been happy with just that out.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, all day.
And then Ariz heads up play when Ozuna thinks, maybe I can take third because Manny's off the bag. Realizes he can, and then he's too far off the bag. Perfect throw to Jake to back pick
so good
and complete the double play. Goes along with that great Jake double play from earlier in the series when he let the ball drop, turned it into a third to second double play. Really smart baseball, and Mike Schilt talked about it after the game. He's got a high baseball IQ team, and that's already really been on display in the first 4 games of the season.
It's really what you dream of, man. It really is. Good, heady defense, aggressive on the base paths. I did not have any problem with Nando trying to stretch that into a double after he had driven in the run. Keep the pressure on. What does Jackson Merrill say? We are going to pound this thing into the ground. We don't feel pressure. We apply pressure. And they do. They absolutely do. Ozuna looks to take that bag because they're down. They need to make something happen, Ben. And you catch those guys napping, or you catch them trying to be over-aggressive and feeling the pressure. And what do? You apply it right back at them. Inspiring 4 games from the San Diego Padres to start the year. Couldn't be happier. I would have been happy with a split, man. I really would have. The Braves are going to be tough. They have good pitching. We really got to their bullpen, but everybody's contributing in some fashion. Eve Jake struck out 3 times last night, draws the huge walk, ends up scoring a run. Hits the double off the guy's leg the day before, ends up scoring the only run. Everybody is contributing right now for this team.
And
mostly everybody.
Yeah. They got the extra runs that allowed them to rest Robert Suarez another day.
It's all those things that add up.
But Estrada comes in and just blows 3 guys away.
Just filthy.
With his absolute, high heat. And a good point in the chat from Rioni, who says the 4-game sweep of the Braves means the Padres own the tiebreaker at the end of the year. They have clinched the season series with only 3 games left against Atlanta on the road later this season. There's no way Atlanta can come back. So if it does come down, and we talked about it last year, we many times mentioned the Padres won the season series against the Braves early, and they would have needed to get an extra game against the Padres at some point if they were going to catch him in the wild card. And it was good to have that extra game in hand when you probably are going to be in a wild card race at the end of the year.
Yeah.
These losses for the Braves early, they will recover. They will be a good team, but you've got some, bird in the hand against Atlanta going forward that could end up being very critical when September rolls around, especially if they don't win the division. If Philly or the Mets win that division and the Padres and the Braves are battling for a wild card spot, go back to this series. First 4 games of the year could end up being very important for the San
So we only
Diego
have
Padres.
3 more against those guys.
3 more
So
against Atlanta the rest of the year.
Season series
clinched.
Just like that. Fantastic. They want me to talk. Alex wants me to talk Arizo for 13. There's nothing I can say. He's right there. It's going to happen. The thing about Luis Ariz, he's not going to get a knock here, a knock there. When it will be a 3 for 4, followed by a 3 for 4, followed by a 2 for 4. And the next thing you know, he's 8 for his last 11.
He might go 13 for his next 13 and be hitting 500 in 4 days.
I just don't worry about him. I just don't worry about him.
If he was, if he was striking,
if he looked like Rafael Devers,
he
looked like Devers right now, I'd be concerned.
I believe he hasn't struck out once in the 13.
I don't think so.
He's hit the ball hard, and he's just rolled over on some to the second baseman. He's hit some line drives to the outfield. They're just not falling. That's baseball. Mike Schilt said after the game, I would be tickled, I believe was his phrasing, if Luis Ariz batted every single inning. He has no worries at all about Luis Ariz.
Jason Hayward is one too that caught. He hasn't gotten a knock yet. Had a couple of good ABs.
He did.
Made a nice catch.
He's been chasing a little bit, not seeing. I think some of the breaking stuff as well out of the hand. It bears at least
something. It's something to keep your eye on.
Keep your eye on. Yeah, you're not going to make any changes right now with the team at 4-0, but it's something.
We don't complain about wins.
It's something to keep your eye on. That's about it at this point. All right, we will take a timeout. We'll talk more about Saturday's game coming up in our 7:00 hour. Do want to congratulate, though, when we return SDFC on their first home win. That was a pretty exciting soccer game on Saturday. Get that and much more with more Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Hour number 2, but it was on a Monday morning. Get back to more Padres talk. Got Manny mic'd up. 2 national broadcasts over the weekend, Fox and then ESPN. I don't know. Does anybody have a preference? I mean, obviously, Don and Mud are the TV preference, but
I mean,
I actually
you
give
want me
the
to
edge,
kick? You want me to kick
the edge
you
to Fox?
You want me to kick you
honestly.
in the knee, or do you want me to kick you in the taint? Which you pick? Which
Knee,
one?
I guess.
The knee. You'd rather have the knee. All
Of
right.
those two?
Of those two?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Neither of them feel great.
No.
But you got to do it.
I mean, I don't know, but we can talk about Manny's mic'd up segment. We'll go back.
I feel a little bit robbed, cheated, that in 4 games so far this season, we've only got Don and Mud for 2 of them.
Yeah,
But we had Jesse and Tony for all 4.
That's true.
That's why I love the consistency of the radio broadcast.
just like us.
Yeah,
Consistency.
we're here every day.
That's right.
We don't get preempted.
Nope.
Paulie was mentioning we do have one altered show this week because of Padres baseball.
Yes. It's coming early this
That
year.
early
Hell yeah.
road trip.
That early road trip?
Yeah, on Friday, when they're going to be at the Cubs, we have to go 20 minutes longer because the pregame show starts at 10:20, and they're not going to bring in Braden to do one segment.
Why not?
So we're going to do a 4-hour and 15 to 20 minute show as opposed to just the normal 4-hour show. So there's your first benefit of baseball season.
Love this.
Coming around for Ben and Woods
Yes,
this week.
Yes. Hell yeah. More Ben and Woods.
But we'll get back to Padres baseball in just a second. But after
Anybody tuning in at 10 a.m. on Friday, I hope you like that Mike Schilt interview that we did about an hour earlier.
Yeah,
point.
gonna
Yeah,
replay
that's
that sucker for you
pre-game
real good.
show. We'll call that.
I'm still leaving at 10. We'll just play
That's
the
fair.
Schilt. Yeah.
That's fair. All right. After the game on Saturday, which we'll talk about coming up, I flipped right over to my my MLS season pass.
Adams that he bought.
Adam's
for you.
MLS
Right.
season pass that
Yes.
he bought for
You
us.
didn't buy it.
You didn't buy it.
I didn't.
Right.
Adam bought it, but I figured out how to log in. Which
Oh,
is
good job.
no
Did you have to send a code to
17 of them. Yes,
To
I mean,
Adam.
No, he had to send them to me. I had to text him. Okay, what's the code you just got, or what's the email you just got? I mean,
That alone is
literally
enough.
It's
for
worth
me to
$79.
I'll just
yeah,
pay for it.
100%. You don't have to do this every week.
No,
though. Okay.
I'm in
One and
now.
done.
I was one and done. I got in, watched the game, and I almost went. I actually did apply for a credential, I thought, but then by the time we had our long weekend and long morning and Saturday, and then I played golf, I'm not going to get back down to Snapdragon Stadium.
Yeah, it would have been a good one to go
I'll go to a
to.
future game, but then I was kind of jealous as I saw in the first 40 minutes, SDFC taking on LAFC for the first time, looking for their first home win in franchise history. Just blitzes one of the best teams in MLS with 3 goals in 40 minutes. I mean, that place was rocking. Sellout crowd, absolutely nuts to take a 3-0 lead. I mean, it's soccer in one half. They were scoring all over the place, different ways. Their goalkeeper applied pressure. They didn't feel it, forced them into a mistake that led to the second goal for San Diego FC. They've looked like a really solid soccer team through their first, 5 games. They're 3rd place in the Western Conference. Now, after the first 40 minutes, things got a little shaky.
It got a little hairy.
Yeah, they gave up the 2 goals right at the end of the first half. So LAFC right back into it. And then even though LAFC took a red card in the second half and was playing 10 on 11, they really had the majority of the chances. A number of times where you're holding your breath like, oh, just wide of the post. Oh, just off the bar that could have tied it up, equalized it in the second half. But SDFC managed to survive and hold on for the 3-2 win for their first franchise victory at home, and continuing just this captivating start for our new MLS team, continuing to play really well. And you had some special guests there. Manny brought Jurickson Profar to the game after the Padres game that night, and they got to wave and be on the Jumbotron at Snapdragon Stadium, which is pretty cool.
God, he's way into it. Way hanging the banner in his locker,
his
over
scarf,
the weekend,
above his locker.
He is all into it. I love it, man. He was talking about it on the broadcast last night, on the ESPN broadcast. They asked him about it, and he was fired up, man. And I'll be honest, it's a big part of the reason I think I've gotten into it too. Man, he's my favorite player, and if he's in, I'm in. And also, couple that with the fact that this team actually looks pretty good in their first season. It's kind of the perfect storm for soccer fans around here. And the Snap looked insane, Ben. Insane. And to beat a team like LAFC and get your first home victory was pretty amazing, man. We've got some good players, good exciting players to watch. Chucky Lozano did return to the team.
Came in as a sub in the second half.
Yep.
Almost had
popped
a free
one.
kick, had a chance to like put it away and make it 4-2. Like he had some blood on his leg, and the ref said, "No, you got to get off the field." So he like sprinted off so he could get it wiped off, so he could go take that kick. He saw the moment was there, and just a nice bender over the wall, but just over the crossbar. So he didn't get the goal, but they did hold on and get the win. And now they've got another home game, 2 in a row for the first time. They'll be back this Saturday night against another West Coast MLS traditional power, the Seattle Sounders, who have had some really, really good seasons. I think they're near the bottom of the table. They call them the table, not the standings in soccer.
I didn't know that. All right, that's one I did not know.
Bottom of the table right now in the Western Conference. So you hope SDFC can keep the momentum rolling and come up with another big home win and stay near the top of the table. I think the top 7 teams get into the playoffs, and then the 8 and 9th place team play like a wild card game to get in as the 8th seed. So you got to finish somewhere in the top 9, preferably in the top 7. But right now, SDFC in 3rd place. Long way to go. Still, 30 games or so remaining in the regular season. But so far, so good for San Diego FC.
They're playing with a lot of confidence, and I think a lot of that confidence comes from their manager, Mikey Vars. Yeah, Mikey was talking about the potential that he sees in San Diego and how he goes, this place, he goes, in 50 years, it's going to be a worldwide name.
A giant.
Yeah, San Diego FC.
I heard that too. I saw that.
I thought that was awesome.
And, you can say anything you want when you're looking 50 years down the line.
Yeah.
But he said it's not just going to be, we don't think we're just going to be an MLS powerhouse. We feel like San Diego should be like in the Americas, in the Western Hemisphere, like maybe the best soccer team on this side of the planet down the line. The stars are aligned. It's such a good market for soccer. There's such a passion and fervor for it. The stars are aligned. You get the right players, you get the right manager, and certainly seems like you have him now. The sky's the limit for this team. I like the idea of dreaming big. I think, and I don't want to give Peter Seidler credit for everything, including our soccer team, but I do feel like he changed some of the sports culture here in San Diego. It's okay in San Diego to be more than just, hey, the team that sneaks into the playoffs every now and then and tries to win on the cheap. It's okay to dream big and think about creating a dynasty, a powerhouse in San Diego. Yeah, we don't even have a championship yet in anything, but let's dream higher. Let's not settle for just, hey, we're okay and we're decent every once in a while.
And listen, if you've been reluctant to watch for whatever reason, maybe you didn't like soccer. I didn't either. I was not a soccer fan. I was telling the fellas yesterday just how much I've gotten into it. I've gotten so into the team this year, and because they have the SD across their chest, Benny, I think that's the reason. So been really, really fun.
Steve in the chat says, I get in my car and I have to listen to soccer after the Padres go 4-0. We will get right back to the Padres.
We just did an hour,
Stevie, talking Padres. And we've got some other teams in this town. We wanted to at least give them some due time because they put on a great show on Saturday night, and they
big dub.
They earned it. They deserved it. And we have other teams in town that I wanted to mention as well, including a team that we talked about a lot in this last month, and that was the UCSD Tritons basketball team. Yesterday, they lost their head coach. The other side of success, as it were, Eric Olin, who led the team to the NCAA tournament for the first time in their first year of eligibility, got hired at New Mexico to replace Richard Pitino, who left for Xavier last week. So he got a 5-year deal, reportedly probably double or triple his salary at UCSD, and there's no way that the Tritons were going to compete with that. In fact, they have already just promoted his assistant coach, Clint Allard, to become their new head coach. But the reports are, I was reading about this, the hands are tied right now because the UC system has like a hiring freeze because of budgetary concerns. They're not even sure they can replace the assistant coach that they just promoted because they're not allowed to spend any money on anything. So it's, it's such a bummer that UCSD has this breakout season. Now they can't keep their coach. They can't really roll in that momentum they've created in their program because of budget cutbacks in the UC educational system at the moment.
Don't these coaches have any loyalty? Don't they? I mean, isn't that what we hear?
He was around for 20 years. That's a lot of
loyalty.
That was pretty solid loyalty from Eric Olin.
But he's not the only one.
And
a lot of coaches jumping ship.
And as much as we would despise New Mexico here, and we'll see him in the Mountain West when he takes on San Diego State next year, it is a good program. I mean, they're obsessed with Lobos basketball in Albuquerque, and
he'll have a good. It's a good fit for both.
Yeah, it's a good promotion for him to get to go to New Mexico. I just hope that UCSD doesn't lose the momentum, because they're losing their most of their seniors that were leading the team. They'll have to re-recruit with a new coach and start all over again next season. So that was some big college basketball news. And, of course, we are down to the Final Four, Woodsy. You did not realize that when we started this morning.
Not really.
For the people who filled out their bracket completely chalk and just had the 1 seeds going.
I may be pretty – I haven't checked my bracket.
I may be Final Four.
I may be pretty good here. I need to start checking
You are
mine.
golden, because for just the second time in tournament history, you get all 4 1 seeds into the Final Four.
Now, I think I saw you grousing about it a little bit on Twitter.
I did. I don't think I think part of the fun of the NCAA tournament is having at least 1 or 2 Cinderellas, unexpected teams make it to the Elite Eight or even the Final Four. And
is this a direct correlation to NIL, or is this an anomaly? Not an anomaly. That's not the right word.
I do think it's the front end of a trend, a troubling trend in college basketball, because you see now teams, even like on the level of San Diego State, get rated for their best players, and they go to these schools like, Auburn and Florida and Houston, and they end up, just not able to compete talent-wise against the top NIL schools. And, of course, Duke, that's always going to get great talent.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're going to have more years like this, where it's, 3 1s and a 2, or 2 1s and 2 2s, or all 4 1s. And you're not going to see years like just a couple of years ago. They say, hey, well, how bad could it be? 2 years ago, San Diego State and Florida Atlantic made it. The world has changed in the last 2 years. The big schools have more NIL money. They're stealing more players, every single year than ever before. Over 1,000 players in the transfer portal. There are more guys that are moving on to the bigger programs for the big money. You can see a quick change, and I think this is part of it, and why we have all number 1 seeds left in the NCAA tournament.
Don't you want the best of the best? That's the other argument.
We will get good matchups. Yeah. And I do, and we always do. There's always good teams left in the tournament, but I love it when there's at least one surprising Cinderella type story that makes it at least to the Elite Eight, if not the Final Four.
I mean, it's the NBA is pretty chalky, right? Once you get into the playoffs, it's pretty chalky every single year. The cream usually rises to the top. Listen, for guys that
is anybody that mad that Florida and Duke
I know
it's slug it out on Saturday?
I think it'll be good
instead of Duke just rolls Arkansas, or, something like that.
Yep.
I tend to agree. I think
it'll be
chalky good. Is fine when you get to the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean the best teams win, and Cinderellas are great. They are. They're absolutely great. But this year we will not see that. We will see the 4 best duking it out. No pun intended.
It's going to make the brackets less fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Next year, I guarantee you, like
just all
the
chalk.
Majority of the brackets, everyone's just going to chalk them all up all the way to the end. I mean, what's the fun in that? I think that's the most fun part of the NCAA tournament, is filling out your bracket. And I guarantee you, next year, when you look at all those upsets and you go, no, I don't want to be the stupid guy who now picks a 12 seed and a 10 seed. I'm just going chalk. And it's just going to be chalky chalk brackets all the way through. Yeah, you're losing the character of this tournament.
That's always been a good strategy when filling out your bracket.
Correct. He's very upset.
Just the way I feel. I know a lot of people feel the way you guys do. Like, this isn't a bad thing for college basketball.
There's a lot that's wrong with college sports right now, but that's not the hill I'm willing to die on right now.
Fair enough. All right. We will come back. We'll talk more baseball in Don't Do This when we return. Woods has a message, a Padres fan message.
Saw this. This was beautiful.
Yeah, for a Do This. So we'll get to that coming up next, and then we'll talk more about the weekend that was at Petco Park, all after Kelly's Traffic on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, I'm going to tell you about Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy. Now the baseball season is here. This is the time of the year to start your daily fantasy journey with Prize Picks. Join over 10 million members who have already claimed billions of dollars in winning simply by setting lineups every day. You can put together between 2 and 6 players, and you're just picking more or less against their stat projections. So Hey, Luis Ariz, 1.5 hits. Les has been pretty good, actually, these first 4 games of the year.
Brutal.
That's going to change. I promise that's going to change, but you can put those in your lineups. Put Fernando Tatis Jr., half of a stolen base. That's come through twice already this year. Find your favorite players, set them in lineups, and win real money, up to 1,000 times your cash by running your game on Prize Picks. It's easy to download the app. Just go to prizepicks.com. And when you do, use the code KWFN. You're going to get $50 instantly. When you play your first $5 lineup, that's code KWFN. Get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup at Prize Picks. You can use MasterCard, Apple Pay, Venmo. It's really easy to do. And when you win, you can reclaim your money in your account very quickly in as little as 15 minutes. I've done it many times before. You can as well. It's baseball season. It's Prize Picks. What a perfect match. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Don't do this. Brought to you by Trust and Will. Don't leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die. Do set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. Well done, Woods. Oh, look at that. Round of applause. Tepid applause.
tepid. Love that word.
Go ahead and get us started.
I will. Let's go to the world of college baseball. Man, you got to make sure, Benny, that all your ducks are in a row before you take on the opposing team in a 3-game set. So they had it was Jacksonville State against Liberty University, and they're going to play
Liberty.
They're going to play a 3-game series, and they're perusing. Now you have to turn in your roster before the 3-game set. Hey, these are the guys that are going to be on my roster. I got 27 names. I got to make sure I get them all right. 27 player roster. So the Liberty Flames roster was without Ben Blair, who was scheduled to start game 2. Jacksonville State's manager looks at the roster. He says,
I don't see this guy.
This guy's not on the list. You didn't add him to the list. Blair goes down to the bullpen. He gets his running in. He gets warm. He gets loose. He steps on the mound. He throws one pitch in the game. Jacksonville State's manager comes out and says, excuse me. He's actually not on the roster, and shows the umpires. The umpires look, confer.
How long do you think he knew? Probably like an hour.
Oh,
right?
no, he knew as soon as he saw the roster.
All right. Is
Yeah.
that a don't do this?
Absolutely not.
On
It's
the college level,
No.
should you just have
Informed
alerted
him,
the
hey,
other
bud.
team?
Hey, bud,
Yeah,
you should have.
effing right.
No chance. In Little League, something like that, which you don't have to submit your rosters or whatever, or like in a I really think these guys are getting paid to win college baseball games. This is the real deal. That's a brilliant coaching move. And
You don't get paid to win them that way, though.
you absolutely get paid to get wins.
That's a win on his record.
That's a huge win for them.
Jacksonville.
So he never wrote it down. Hey, man, there's a real simple way.
It's still non-professional.
It's not non. Oh, I thought you meant professional of the coaches. No, it's you. You absolutely use that card if you need it.
I think when he goes out to warm up, you say something. Hey, that guy's not on the roster. He can't pitch. You need to put someone else in. And then
that way you make sure you get the forfeit.
Waiting until the one pitch so you get the forfeit.
That's on them.
I love it.
I don't know.
They have no one to blame but
he
themselves.
knows if I wait until this guy throws one pitch,
it's
the game is null and void and we win.
Yeah, I love it.
And you get to go home. You're home by 7 o'clock that night.
It's like a typo error. It's a paperwork oversight. It has nothing to do with he was an actual player on the team, right? He wasn't like
He didn't bring some guy
he
in
wasn't
from
some hired gun
No.
from everywhere. He was actually on the team. Someone just forgot to put his paperwork on the right thing. So he didn't do anything wrong at all. I don't know. I feel like yes, he shouldn't be able to pitch, but the other managers say, hey, that guy's not on the roster. You need to pitch someone else. That's a big advantage, forcing them to switch out right before the game. But just to take the forfeit after he throws one pitch, to me, I don't want to win that way. It's not why we play the game, especially in college.
Oh, no. I think, to be able to win a series, which is essentially what they did, you save your bullets as well. And, hey, we'll take that
All right,
win.
now Brandon says kind of like lineups. If the guy bats out a turn, he's out, though. But you don't forfeit the whole game.
No, you don't forfeit
if the guy bats out a turn. He's out. That's fine. You point it out, then it's out. You move
the
on.
logic still applies, though. You wait until a pitch is thrown.
Well, then the rule, they're not like the rule.
You don't go
Then
up there and
throws a
help
pitch,
them out.
Then you throw a pitch, and like if a guy on the roster throws a pitch, it's an automatic single or home run or whatever. And then you have to take him out, and you actually play the game, though. I mean, everyone went there to play a game, and it was just one pitch, and it was forfeit, and it was over.
Now, you know what?
The fans who
you know what?
Bought tickets for the game.
They didn't show up to play a game. They showed up to win a game.
They showed up to win a game.
They got the job.
They knew they were getting the
This is
dub.
college.
Yeah.
They're supposed to play the games.
They got to win.
Eh.
Hey, man,
I don't like
it. How hard is it to fill out your roster correctly with, your starting pitcher for the second game? May want to write him down. I think it's great. I think it's a great
Might have been a Microsoft Word error, like the line got
Maybe.
deleted somehow. I don't know.
I don't think it's Bush League.
Not at all.
Write down your proper roster, and you won't have these problems at all. There's a real simple fix. Go ahead, Ben.
All right. I saw this video going around Sunday morning. It came from after the SDFC game on Saturday night.
Oh, my God, dude.
And I'm a San Diego guy, so I'm going to start blaming the visiting LAFC fans. But we have soccer hooliganism, it looks like,
yes,
in America's finest city. There's police. There are people outside Snapdragon
Were there
Stadium.
police? Because I saw people in
there's
police uniforms.
Yes, they says
But
police.
what the hell were they doing?
They're just kind of
police.
watching, and a couple of guys, I think mostly SDFC fans, one of them got absolutely cold-cocked by what I believe is an LAFC fan. And Sucker punched, yeah. And then another guy got sucker punched from behind, or at least pushed over from behind.
I got kicked in the face.
Yeah, you don't want to see this. It's not a great ad for San Diego, but let's go. Took it right in the back when he wasn't looking.
Well, there's people in like weird masks and stuff.
I think
like
those are the LAFC fans.
It is dicey, dude. That is dicey. Look, I'll tell you right now. Makes me not want to go to a game when we play the people from LA.
There is a commonality in a lot of things.
You think
when
so?
It comes to this.
They fought each other at Dodger Stadium during the All-Star game. Who has brawls at an All-Star game? Drunken fan-on-fan brawl. It wasn't a guy in an A's jersey. It was Dodgers fans beating the crap out of each other at Chavez Ravine during the All-Star game.
I mean, it's all the LAFC fans who are wearing the masks and everything, covering their faces. That's a sign that you're trying to
you're up to no good.
You're up to no good. You don't want to be identified, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's just no chance I'm taking the kids or my wife to one of those games. None. You've lost me there, right? Give me a nice day game against Austin or Portland or something. I'm in. Yes. Do they have a Portland? We do have there is a team from Portland.
Yeah, I know. You're going to get inundated with offers to buy you a craft beer or something.
Fine by
Portland
me.
Fans,
I know.
I'm sure.
Hey, dude, you want to hit this real quick? No, I'm with my family. It's all right. Thank you. More for you. Forget it. I want no part of that. It's almost 50 years old. What are we doing? I think, I was looking, I was like, man, these cops are literally letting these guys beat the crap out of each other right now.
They're moving.
They were like dancing around a little bit,
watching what's going on here. I don't know if there were any official arrests or what the report was, but not good after the game on Saturday night.
I mean, look, it's one common thread here, Ben. You know what it is. So, be diligent and vigilant when you go out to those games. Be careful. This is a great do this.
DD mega doo-doo.
Saw this on Reddit and Reddit Padres, and it's just for fun. It said, my family and I just returned from San Diego for opening day and Friday's game. We are nomads when it comes to Major League Baseball until Portland gets teams. Speaking of Portland, we love to travel to new parks, root for the home team. We are about halfway through our national lifetime ballpark tour. Let me say this. Team, fans, stadium, and city takes the cake. I've never been so welcomed by fellow fans as to be one of their own. The kids, 11 and 17, never felt more welcome to be a kid at a Major League Baseball ballpark before. From running down to the third base ball girl to beg for a ball to being able to wander up to the concessions alone, the stadium itself has a vibe few others can match. The crowd knows the game and understands it. The fans are respectful and attentive. I just wanted to personally thank the Reddit family for answering questions before, both directly and indirectly by searching. We were going to knock off San Francisco this summer. We decided to push it off and join y'all again in August instead. Wow. I'll go as far as to say it's the best professional sports experience I've ever had. Even the staff was awesome. We lost one of our opening day towels as we were cruising around the stadium, ran into a worker who had overheard our conversation, reached into his back pocket, handed it to our daughter. Completely unnecessary. We walked the outfield, decided to go into the Budweiser walk-in cooler, grab a beer, made small talk with the guy. He bought my beer. So naturally, I bought his in return. It felt like everyone there were old friends, and we were the new neighbors that moved in and were welcome as if we've lived there for 20 years. Take a bow, San Diego. Go Padres.
Sorry, it's funny. Hey, can I buy you a beer? Yeah, let me buy
you a beer. So let's just buy our own.
Just could have bought our own.
Yeah,
it's fine. Very hospitality centric, and that shows well for the Padres, Petco Park staff that puts the game together. It's interesting. There are nomads, as you saw. I was listening to Sammy's postgame show last night. His first caller, he said, we're going to Oakland. I've never gone up to Oakland for a postgame show. And he goes, I'd like to say longtime listener, first-time caller, but I'm actually a first-time listener, first-time caller, and I used to be an A's fan, but I needed a new team because the A's are moving, and I'm not sticking with them, so I've decided to jump in and be a Padres fan. So this was my first game. I listened, and I'm ready. I'm excited to come down and go to a game. What do I need to know about being a Padres fan? So hey, if we can welcome new fans to the Padres family, I say let's be with open arms and not be exclusionary to people who want to join our community.
All the way in. It sounds like the staff and everybody at Petco Park really showed out for these people from Portland. So well done.
And that is Don't and Do This for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, when we come back, I want to finish talking about last night's game, including Manny on the mic, one of the more unusual mic'd up player segments. And you know what I found out? Do you know how much he got paid for that?
No.
I do. I know. It's in the collective bargaining agreement what players get for doing the mic'd up segments. So
thought he was great.
And then we can talk about Saturday's 1-0 win in game 3 of the series as well. And a little bit on Friday. We talked a lot about it actually on our Saturday show. We could get, for anyone who didn't join us on Saturday, we can talk about Friday's win as well. All coming up next.
You gave me a homework assignment actually on Saturday morning. We were talking about something in Friday night's game.
Yep.
And I did my homework.
Well, he did his homework.
Very nice. All coming up next with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, you need to do your homework if you woke up this morning and you're feeling crappy. Again, your joints are killing you. It happened to me for many, many years. Woke up, couldn't move my wrists or hands, had to wear carpal tunnel braces and tape and everything else. When I wanted to do anything, it was not a good way of life. So, I'm actually here to do your homework for you. I'll do it for you. All you have to do is call QC Kinetics. Got locations in Torrey Hills and Hillcrest. If you have joint pain right now, don't wait anymore, because my guess is that it's holding you back from doing something that you used to love doing so much, and you probably miss it very much. I've talked to surfers. I've talked to weightlifters. I've talked to MMA fighters. They've done it. It's worked for them. So whether it's just as simple as walking, I used to love to walk the mall with my wife, and I can't anymore. Go see QC Kinetics. They can absolutely help you. You'll get a free consultation when you call. You'll learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Again, I am walking proof. Went out, played a baseball game yesterday, been in the gym, playing the guitar again, able to do everything that I love, and I missed it all so much. So call them today, 619-614-PAIN, 619-614-PAIN. They are QC Kinetics. Let them know Woodsy sent you when you call 619-614-PAIN.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Got the first of our weekly chats with Dennis Lynn coming up in an hour at 8:35 from The Athletic, talking Padres baseball. Looking forward to that. So last night, Padres complete the 4-game MOP of the Atlanta Braves on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball with a 5-0 win. And as part of ESPN Sunday Night Baseball series, they're continuing to mic up one of the players in the field. And last night, they picked Manny Machado and the top of the 3rd inning. So he's out in the field. The inning starts. Nick Pivetta is on the mound. And Carl Ravitch starts introducing Manny Machado as the guest. And Pivetta throws his first pitch. It's a strike to Orlando Arcia. Ravitch starts kind of stumbling over himself, talking about Manny's career numbers and all the milestones he's approaching. And finally gets, spits out a question after ball 1 and a foul ball. So it's 1-2 count. Manny answers that question. 4th pitch is a single to right field. Turned out to be the only hit that Nick Pivetta gave up all game. Then Ravitch starts asking a second question, and Jared Kelenick's at the plate. First pitch is grounded backward. It was they couldn't quite turn the double play.
Yeah, so they went to Xander, I think.
They got the force at second, and then Kelenick beat it out at first just by a hair. So they're 1 out, and then Chadwick Tromp comes up, and Manny's wrapping up. They're trying to get to a third question. Tromp immediately grounds into a double play, second to first, right quickly, and the inning is over. And Manny is just, you can see the spring in his step. He's
so fired up.
He is dancing off the field because his time is done. They commit to doing 1/2 inning, however long it takes. If it's a 20-minute slog where the other team's scoring 7 runs, it doesn't matter. And people in our chat knew the answer to this. I didn't know it.
Well, I was going to ask if it's the same as when they do in-game broadcast interviews with the Padres, like Blake Snell was doing after every start. I know how much that was. I didn't know if ESPN Sunday Night Baseball was any different.
$10,000.
My God.
Yeah.
For however long it lasts. So in this case, about 2.5 minutes, 6 pitches, $10,000. And I heard Nick Pivetta joking to Manny, "You owe me some of that money."
Yeah, you owe me 5.
Getting you out of that.
I think so.
100%.
I think that's fair.
Because I hate it. We were talking about it driving home from the game yesterday. Just how I don't like the in-game mic'd up player. I just don't. And I love Manny, and he was really good, but it was a very short time. I just don't like it. I just want to watch baseball. I don't need the 3rd inning check-in with the manager either. It just doesn't add anything to the broadcast, in my opinion. The behind the scenes stuff, it's not even behind the scenes. It's right in the middle of the scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need it. I'm kind of glad ESPN's not doing baseball for
every 20 in-game interviews that suck.
Yeah.
You get one fun moment.
Yeah, which is fine.
Don and Mud had during spring training. Remember they had Jackson Merrill mic'd up, and
spring training's different.
He caught the last out of the inning. Yeah. It was fun. He's like talking to the guys, and you hear him go, "Oh!" and he's like running back to the warning track, and they were having a good time. That's fun. That's a fun moment. But those are so few and far between.
Bro, spring training is the perfect spot for those. Do those in spring training.
All-star game.
That's where we got the fast, slow, and deep drop from Mike Schilt. That was like a 40-minute interview. That
Ray asked, do skippers get paid? I don't believe they don't get the same rate. That's a players union thing.
Is that right?
Negotiated. So I don't think managers get the at least the same rate, if anything at all.
Yeah, I would be fine if they didn't do them anymore. But Manny got off really easy, and then of course gave a shout out to SDFC as he was running off the field. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it was they are what they are, and I don't like them. Boom!
I doubt they're going away though.
Well, they will when the ESPN goes away, maybe.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, the incredible boomer filter is
he here? That's me. There it is. There he is. Yeah. I don't need all this extra stuff. I'm good. Just give me watch the game. It's fine, man. It's fine.
All right, let's check traffic. When we come back, let's go back to another great pitching performance that the Padres got over the weekend on Saturday night from Randy Vasquez. That is coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by your local San Diego County UPS stores. Crash still clearing on South 115 at Scripps Poway Parkway. Everything is over to the right shoulder. Fortunately, no other incidents or accidents to mention. Your local San Diego County UPS store locations are hosting a shred event from April 7th through April 15th. 50% off shredding services. Visit theupsstore.com for the location nearest you. See store for details. And Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, so I think this is fair that going into Saturday's game, that was the one I was most concerned about in this series, knowing Spencer Schwellenbach is good, and he was good on Saturday night, and I wondered, is Randy Vasquez going to be able to go pitch for pitch with a pretty nasty young star, rising star in Spencer Schwellenbach? Not only did he outdueled him on Saturday night. Maybe the surprise of the opening series was the 6-inning, 4-hit shutout performance by Randy Vasquez, who wasn't perfect. He walked 4, but got the pitches he needed. A double play in the first inning, got that heads-up double play by Jake Cronenworth in the 4th inning to keep the Braves off the scoreboard. Did not allow much. I mean, the Braves couldn't do anything with runners in scoring position. I think they finished something like 1 for 22 in the series with runners in scoring position.
22 scoreless innings for the Braves.
And
very familiar.
Sounds kind of familiar to us. Probably better now for the Braves than in October, correct. I guess. But the Padres not only got great pitching, great bullpen work, but when they needed it the most, when guys were on base, everyone stepped up in this series to keep the Braves really in check the entire way through. What did you think of Randy Vasquez's performance on Saturday?
I mean, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Needing a little bit of length that day, and we had talked about it on the broadcast that morning of like, man, Michael King and Dylan Cease didn't give you a ton of length. Bullpen is a little bit worked. They're fresh. I mean, they're right out of spring training. They're ready to go. But you did need a pitcher to go out there and eat some innings, Ben. So I kind of figured Randy's going to be out there probably 5 or 6 anyway, no matter what happens, just to kind of give it a little reset. To be able to go in and win the game, not only with Randy Vasquez as your starting pitcher, but with the other guys that they deployed in that game, to go out and win a 1-0 game. Fantastic, man. Fantastic work by Mike Schilt and the Padres and Ruben Niebla and everybody.
Mike Schilt. All right, so that was another game in which he pulled the right string. We talked on Saturday about the string he didn't pull when he let Jake Cronenworth bat and hit the home run on Friday night, and that paid off. He did pull the string on Saturday when he decided to go with Yuli Gurriel as the pinch hitter for Gavin Sheets, knowing that the Braves would counter and go to their bullpen for righty, and they did. Daybell Hernandez came in, but Yuli Gurriel came through in the clutch with the pinch RBI single that provided the only run of the game in the bottom of the 7th inning. Showing this really has been a 26-man roster effort, but when it comes to Mike Schilt and the decisions, the way he managed this series, I mean, 10 out of 10, I mean, really, everything that he did worked out well, seemingly, for the Padres over the first 4 games.
Yeah, and it's, your players make you look like a genius. Because, again, you know right there, if I put in Gurriel against the lefty, they're just going to counter and go with a righty. So now I got Yuli Gurriel facing a right-hander, but he gets the job done. Crony, again, I mean, has had a really nice start to the season. Has helped with the glove, helped with the bat, hit the home run the night before, hits the double off of Bummer's foot that goes into the dugout. We talked about the ball bouncing their way right now. Man, you just take those games, you take these streaks, and you ride them as long as you can, because it's not going to be that way forever. Eventually, that ball is going to kick off of his foot right to the third baseman, who's going to turn a double play or something, and it's going to happen in the course of 162. Ride this sucker out. The good vibes, everything, the way that they're playing. Jackson Merrill's been phenomenal so far. Fernando Tatis Jr. in the leadoff probably needs to stay forever. It's been working out really, really well. But yeah, Schilte has pushed the right buttons, and his players have answered when he's pushed them. So it's been fun to watch. Goose points out, another good move yesterday with Brandon Lockridge. Just insurance late, but went with the pinch hitter, got the RBI double from Lockridge. And you mentioned Fernando Tatis Jr. at the leadoff position.
I think whatever Fernando's doing, if he's changing his game at all because he's leading off or not, it looks good. He's not chasing that many pitches outside of the zone. He's working some deeper at bats, which you don't always see. Fernando loves attacking and the first pitch. I mean, he had a home run on the first pitch of when we got started on Friday night. So he's still going to do that, but he's also had some longer at bats, drawing some walks. He's stolen 3 bases now. It looks a lot like a leadoff hitter, except for the fact he's also just has the ability to hit the ball, 480 feet at any moment as well, but does a lot of things well that leadoff hitters do, at least has so far this season.
Yeah, it's been the right move, certainly. So, but I thought you can't say enough about the way that the bullpen pitched in this series and really in that game, Ben. How about Wandy Peralta coming in throwing? I think he's thrown 12 pitches all year, and he's got 2 wins, 2-0. So all of you guys out there going,
well, 11 pitches, actually.
11 pitches. Sorry, everybody out there talking about pitcher wins and how important they are. That dude's 2-0 right now. He's 2-0. He's thrown 11 pitches.
Randy Vasquez pitched 6 strong innings on Saturday night.
It's 5 outs in those 11 pitches. He's thrown 11 good pitches to get
phenomenal.
5 outs.
Phenomenal.
And, it just happens to be in the right spot where he's gotten 2 wins out of it. But Wandy's been important. And,
I love it.
On that game, when you knew that Suarez was down, Adam was down, Estrada was down, and you had to go with other options for Peralta, Jacob, and then Morejon in the 9th inning.
Getting the save was phenomenal.
Looking really sharp there in the 9th inning. Worked around the walk, but then came back, got the strikeout to end the game in a tense 1-0 game all the way through. Yeah, really, really impressive stuff from the bullpen so far this season.
We went to a very fancy steakhouse called Musso and Frank. You ever heard of that?
I have, absolutely.
In Hollywood.
That's a Hollywood classic.
It's been around for 100+ years. And we thought we'd walk right in at 5 because that's when they opened, and there was a line around the corner. But the guy said, "No, I can get you seats." So he got us a table, and we got in. And the game, we had watched the game in the hotel. Then we ran down to Musso and Frank to get a dinner. And so I knew I married the right woman when I had the Padres game on my phone at a very fancy steakhouse as we were watched the entire game and watch Randy just really use his defense and pitch really, really well, pitch in and out of trouble a little bit. But you have to be encouraged by what you saw from the lineup, from the defense, from the bullpen, and from the starting pitching in these first 4 games. Now, Kyle Hart, tall order ahead of him tonight, right? So let's keep this thing rolling.
Meanwhile, we did spend a lot of time Saturday morning in our special show discussing it, but I know not everybody was able to join us. You had other things going on Saturday, but we talked about Friday night's win, 4-3 in game 2 of the series. Another tense one, another great performance by the bullpen. Remember, Adrian Morejon pitched both Friday and Saturday, went inning and 2/3 on Friday, then came back on Saturday and got the save. But Dylan Cease, was a little up and down in that performance. He struck out 7, so he still got the Dylan Cease-like stuff, but also seemed like his mechanics got off a little bit and ended up only going 4 1/3, gave up the 3 runs. But the Padres got the hit when they needed it, including the clutch home run by Jake Cronenworth in the 8th inning to deliver another, late and close win, which has been the hallmark of Mike Schilt teams over these last, season and now first 4 games of the second season.
Yeah, Cease is again, he can be the nastiest pitcher in baseball when he is mechanically sound, and when he loses the plot a little bit, Ben, it does get a little bit dicey. Start spraying the ball everywhere, but was able to get through 4 1/3, and bullpen came in and got that one done as well. So the bullpen really deserves the gold star for the way that they pitched in that series against the Braves. I mean, if we're handing out gold stars this morning, they get the first one.
Jackson Merrill has been so good. He had 3 hits that game on Friday. I think he only had 1 yesterday, but he also was robbed by Kellenic.
Yep.
When he comes up to the plate now, I always expect something good to happen.
Me too.
Had the opposite field, hit double off the wall.
Yep.
That ball just absolutely carried off of his bat. So impressive to see. It truly is remarkable in just 1 year from a rookie who had, we knew nothing really about when he made the team last year and they put him out in center field to legit a guy that now I'm thinking is going to be a perennial all-star.
Yeah, 100%.
It's absolutely amazing what Jackson Merrill has done so far in his career.
Yeah,
Just amazing.
Robbing home runs, making great catches. He's actually gotten thrown out on the bases a couple times already, which is kind of unexpected. But other than that, man, the guy's been unbelievable. He's as advertised.
So during that Friday game, we talked about it on Saturday morning, but we didn't have the audio. They had the in-game interview both on radio here and on television with new Padres chairman John Seidler. And we talked about it on Saturday. John, short answers to questions, but, he's not there to entertain. He's there to hopefully put a winning product on the field. But there was one moment that you did enjoy, Woods, and that was when Don and Mud asked him to do to name all the Seidler brothers in the style of Good Will Hunting.
All the
Jackson Merrill at first base and full count now.
There's a scene in the movie. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Matt Damon.
Was I in that?
No, you weren't in the. Oh my gosh. Oh, Robin Williams.
Oh, Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
Where he meets Minnie Driver and she says, "Name all your siblings. Name all your siblings right now. You've got 30 seconds."
Peter, Carol, Mary Kay, Mike, Bob, Tom, and Gene Matt.
I love it.
That's impressive.
One more time.
Peter, Carol, Mary Kay, Michael, Bob, Tom, and Gene Matt. It's amazing.
So
Rocky,
great.
Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, David, Timmy, Tony, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian.
Just say it again. I love it.
Peter, Carol, Mary Kay, Michael, Bob, Tom, and Gene Matt.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Rocky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, David, Timmy, Tony, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian.
Amazing.
Rocky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, David, Timmy, Tony, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian.
Now remember, in the movie, the impressive thing is Matt Damon is inventing those siblings.
Yeah, he lies.
He doesn't have those siblings, but then he's able to repeat it
Again.
Second time again
Because he's a
the first time.
genius.
Yes.
That's why. He's a genius.
He was a
Rocky,
genius.
Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, David, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian.
Amazing. Yeah, it was an interesting interview. We talked about it again on Saturday. I did get the sense Mud and Don were ready to get that third out. And of course, it was the Padres were rallying that inning. Again, Paulie made a really, really salient point on Saturday that let's not compare him to his brother. Let's not do him a disservice by comparing him to Peter Seidler.
John becomes somebody else down the road. Don't compare that person to Peter Seidler.
Correct,
Like,
exactly.
It's not fair.
I mean, you probably don't want him hosting your 6-hour telethon on stage, but again, not what you're asking the owner of a team to do.
Just want you to spend money, get good players in here, win World Series. It's not that much to ask, I think.
That's all right, people.
That's it.
We'll come back. Dennis Lynn is going to be part of our third hour. We'll have more Padres talk coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
right, we are halfway home on a victory Monday, a MOP Monday, as it were. Mopped the Braves, sent them packing. 4 straight losses by the San Diego Padres. Literally no better way to open the season. None. So very, very happy. The vibes are high in the Ben and Woods studio this morning. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer. Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Great weekend. Great weekend. I still get a lot of, and we've talked a lot about on this program about some of the requests and questions that I get. Definitely more than you do, because they know you won't write back. They know I will write back. And I get a lot of people asking for recommendations, people asking if I can do things for them, things like that. It happens quite a bit, and I share them with you guys. We get a laugh out of it sometime. But I was sharing one with a buddy this weekend, and he wrote back to me, and it made me laugh so hard. He has given me a new nickname, a new moniker, if you will. And I put it in my my Twitter bio. San Diego's concierge. Yeah. Stephen Woods, San Diego's concierge. And when he told me that, it was our buddy Corey. He goes, "You're San Diego's concierge." I go, "That's the greatest thing I've ever heard."
A period from the Padres store.
Send me down.
Jersey, just send Woods down. He will concierge it up for you.
Yeah, whatever. I'm here to serve you guys. Literally serve you guys.
Show tickets, dinner reservations,
whatever you need. Recommendations on your podcast. Host your event. You know, San Diego's concierge.
Career advice,
100%, man.
What else?
What else you guys need?
Mentoring, at-risk teams,
loans. I mean, it really runs the gamut.
You want to play on his baseball team? He can hook you up for that.
San Diego's concierge, Stephen Woods. I said, bro, I'm putting it in my Twitter bio, and I did. So it says, married to Hannah and Carol, Bo and Taylor's dad, host of Ben and Woods, glass banger for Seals Lax, and San Diego's concierge. I'd like that to stick, actually. I think it's hysterical. But I was laughing so hard about it over the weekend. But yeah, man, one thing let me flip it on you guys, though, not you two, you guys out in the audience. I need you to concierge me. I need someone to find me ASAP before this weekend, a torpedo bat that is made of wood that I can use. We have a massive doubleheader against the best team in the league on Sunday. They never lose. I'm hitting everything off the end of the bat. I need a torpedo bat right now.
The baseball sensation. If you hadn't seen this story, the New York Yankees had MIT scientist or someone that they hired to basically redesign their bats. And
we were on the air on Saturday.
Yeah,
the Saturday show while that game was going on, right in front of us on a big screen.
He just kept saying, I mean, the first 3 pitches of the game, they hit for home runs. They had another one later in that inning. They finished with 9 home runs, scored 20 runs, and then went out and hit, I think, 12 more runs yesterday. I mean, 32 runs, 13 home runs with these new bats. Now, Paul has a picture of them in our YouTube. They look a little different. They look a little more bulbous around the midsection. Like, these are bats that have reached,
much like ourselves,
their 40s, and the weight distribution has changed
like a hot
just
dog
a little
about
bit.
to explode.
It does. You put an Oscar Mayer in there for 3 minutes, and that middle just.
And the theory behind it is that specifically with some players like
Jazz Chisholm, Anthony Volpe,
they've decided that they make more contact a little closer to the handle, like toward the label. And so why not just move the barrel down the bat a little bit where they're actually hitting the ball? And it seems to be having an immediate and positive effect for the New York Yankees, which of course has caused some consternation around the rest of baseball.
One of our guys on the team yesterday, our buddy Kyle, said, "Oh yeah, those uncircumcised bats." yeah. I mean, not to be crass, but that's fairly what it looks like. And it's an interesting concept. And I was thinking about it yesterday. Like, if they were going to make me a special bat where the barrel would be, you'd have to put it at the very end of. I don't get jammed. I get off the end almost every time.
It's like my Callaway Elite driver. They put the sweet spot out on the toe, which is where I hit a lot of my drives, and it goes further because they've moved the sweet spot out a little bit. I mean,
I need one.
So I guess the real dilemma is, what should and should not be allowed. I mean, you can make a bat out of aluminum and it would go way farther, but
Sure.
that's obviously not allowed. It has to be made out of wood. Major League Baseball has already ruled and said, yeah, this is okay. The Yankees are not doing anything wrong. They're absolutely allowed to shift the weight distribution of their bat, however they want. Now, you can't cork the bat. There's certain things you can and cannot do, but Major League Baseball has said this is within their rules.
Now, am I to understand correctly that they're not all uniform, right? Like, or are they? Like, so they had to go in, they had to watch points of contact, hundreds and hundreds of points of contact for some of the Yankees players, and then specifically tailor it to what they're looking for and where they're getting bat on ball.
Just like with the golf clubs, at Callaway, they have the adjustable clubs. Like for different players, you'll have different weights, like toward the toe, toward the heel. They can adjust them toward a player's swing to make them more effective. This is essentially what they're doing with the bats, making bats more effective for individual players.
It's crazy too, because I remember when the Axe bat phenomenon started a few years ago. I actually got one of those and hit pretty well with it. It was different. That's
a different handle.
It's a different handle.
Same barrel spot.
Same barrel spot, but the handle was different, and it really kind of like forced my hands through the ball better than I was at it. Yeah, man, and they've measured them. Major League Baseball. You're not going to go in there willy-nilly and be like, hey, look what I'm using now, right? And there's regulations on bats, Ben,
as there is on golf clubs.
Starting
strict regulations.
Starting at Little League, we of course bought 2 bats for our son, neither of which are Little League approved. So whenever he gets to travel ball, he's ready. He's got 2 really nice bats. We had to guess what, buy another bat. So there's regulations on bats throughout. I don't know how I feel about this. I know that I want one, because I don't catch a lot of barrels. I would like to catch more. Who wouldn't? As long as as long as it is within the rules, you're good to go.
Well, if it's legal, I think for me, my opinion is clear. Every team needs to get on board as quickly as possible.
ASAP.
At least start experimenting. I mean, every player by the end of next week should have the option of getting a torpedo bat and seeing if they can make it work for them. The Yankees are ahead of the curve, and I mean, the results, no, maybe the Brewers pitching staff is just trash. Aaron Judge hit 4 home runs. He's not using the torpedo bat. So
they did put out I think it was a perfect storm of events at Yankee Stadium this weekend. They put out a graphic of, because they can track literally everything right now. They put out a graphic of where the Brewers were throwing the Yankees this weekend and at what velocity. The average was like 92 mile an hour cutters middle in, and the Yankees were like, okay. I mean, I think you could have hit it out with a stick. These pitches were so bad. So I think that it's a perfect storm of events that translated into what we saw at Yankee Stadium.
I'd be somewhat worried though if I was an executive or a manager of another team. You don't want to fall behind the curve. You give another team an advantage over the course of an entire season. I guarantee you, other teams will be quickly trying to adapt and at least experiment and giving their players the option of checking these things out before you don't want to get to July and realize, oh yeah, the Yankees are 150 runs ahead of everybody else. And okay, maybe these torpedo bats really are a thing. Maybe they're not at this point. Maybe they are, but do not let the Yankees just run away with, a giant technological advantage that other teams don't have yet.
Somebody said they have them at Dick's. So I'm leaving right now. I don't want anybody else to snatch them. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Paulie, if you'd like me to grab you one.
Not just a fungo, right?
Text me your specs, and it's my treat. Just let me leave early, and I'll pick you up a new bet.
Done.
Only 4 teams remain undefeated, by the way.
Yes.
Yankees are one of them.
Yankees are one.
Padres, of course, are one of them.
Dodgers.
The Dodgers, even though Roki Sasaki struggled in his first home start on Saturday, did not make it out of the second inning, had some command issues. They still ended up beating the Tigers and are 5-0. And the biggest surprise, I'd say, of all the undefeated teams, the team that did nothing in the offseason and got a lot of criticism for it, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Who'd they beat?
The Minnesota Twins. Swept them, finished
rough.
with 9-2 win yesterday to complete the 3-game sweep to start their season. So those are your only 4 unbeaten teams after the first weekend of the season.
Yeah, Roki Sasaki did not do himself any favors, at least in the for all the people that root against the Dodgers. They flashed to him kind of crying because he was upset about his 1 1/3 that he went. And look,
I remember those little league days.
Here's
I
the
shed
thing.
a tear or two when I was knocked out of a game early because I was a pitcher, and that's a bad feeling when they come and get you and you didn't get to throw that much, and then you're done. And
you feel like a real turd.
You really do,
don't you?
You really do. I felt for Roki.
I did too. But here's the thing: you got to be careful because he'll find a way. His stuff is too good, right?
He already has one really good start in Japan. I mean,
yeah,
the first game against the Cubs, he was very solid.
He was solid. He's going to be really, really good. I wouldn't throw any gas onto the fire if I just wouldn't. Like, I even me who talks a lot of crap to the Dodger fans out there, even I was reserved in that one. I just said, nope, I'm not going to pile on this kid in his second start because, again, that never ends well. When you start retweeting that and making fun of him, guess what he'll do against your team, and then you have to sit and wear it. So I'm going to be very, very reluctant to call him a bust anytime soon. I remember how Yamamoto started. I remember how he finished, and that's what's most important. He's got a good support group around him. I think he'll be okay. His stuff is really good. The one thing I did question about that is that, like, you can see how much they're going to baby him in the organization. He got in a little trouble. Let him find his way out of it. By the way, if you're Dave Roberts and the Dodgers, like you said, you went on to win that game anyway. You're going to roll out of bed and win 105 games, more than likely. Give that kid a chance to pitch out of a couple of – every time something gets a little hot for him, you cannot run out to the mound and get him and make him cry, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of babying that goes on with guys like that, you know? And so for him – I'm sure he wanted to stay in the game. I'm sure he wanted to pitch better, but I'm going to be very reluctant to pile on because I know that will backfire. I know it will.
Elsewhere in the NL West, Giants had a nice start. They took 2 of 3 on the road from the Reds. Mac Chapman homered yesterday in a 6-3 win. The D-backs were on the verge of dropping 3 of 4 to the Cubs and then scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to earn the 4-game split with Chicago with a 10-6 win yesterday. So D-backs are 2-2, Giants are 2-1. The NL West is already the best division in baseball right at the start of the season. We thought that could be the case. Nothing has changed our opinion through the first 4 or 5 games of the year that the NL West is going to be very competitive all the way through this year. A couple other headlines from this weekend. Saw the Jacob deGrom's return yesterday to the mound for the Texas Rangers.
How did he do?
Pretty good. 5 shutout innings, 2 hits. Looked DeGrom-ish. Ended up with a no decision because the Red Sox scored a couple off the bullpen, but the Rangers did pull out a 3-2 win over the Boston Red Sox. This was a nice moment. The Marlins beat the Pirates 3-2. The Marlins are 3-1.
They're 3-1.
They're in first place in the NL East. Shocker. This is one of those things that you don't expect to hold throughout the whole course of the season. But yesterday, they inducted Jeff Conine into the Marlins Hall of Fame. And in the game, his son, Griffin Conine, homered for the Marlins.
Amazing.
That's just pretty cool moment in baseball to have that special day and have your son go deep at the same time. So I thought that was pretty fun. Any other observations for you from the opening weekend of Major League Baseball, Woods?
Besides the ones that you just mentioned, no.
Okay.
No.
So now
let it play out a little bit.
So now we hit. So most teams have played either 3 or 4 games.
Yep.
Dodgers and Cubs are the ones that have played more, but they're they have the week off. So everyone's pretty much throwing their 4th or 5th starter today. And you can really see now which teams have some depth in their pitching staff as you look who's throwing today, because these are the back of the rotations. And there's one name that stands out. As you look at all the other teams digging deep for someone to, be their 5th or 4th starter, and then the Dodgers are throwing Tyler Glasnow.
It's unbelievable.
That against Grant Holmes of the Braves. It's like
unbelievable.
You can really tell the difference in the depth when you get to these, 4th and 5th starters.
That is incredible.
I mean, the Padres are, taking a chance on Kyle Hart today.
Be nice.
Who's throwing for the Guardians?
That would be Luis Ortiz.
Okay.
Former Pirate, had a decent season, split split time between start and the bullpen last year. He'll start for the Guardians tonight. Giants have Jordan Hicks going. That's not bad for their fourth game of the season. Kumar Rocker is pitching for the Rangers in Cincinnati. That's not bad. Chris Paddock, the little Loud Thunder heavy rain for the Twins today against the Chicago White Sox. That's a day game start at 11:10. But for the most part, I'd like who are these guys now pitching the fourth or fifth game of the season? For a lot of these teams, except of course for the Dodgers, who just have unlimited starting pitching depth, which is
Glass
why
now today, Dustin May tomorrow.
Dustin May, well, against Chris Sale, so that's a chance for the Braves, and then they'll go right back to Blake Snell against Reynaldo Lopez for Game 3 of the series on Wednesday.
Excellent. I'm here for it. Can't wait. The missus is taking one of the kids to the game tonight, just one.
Oh.
So I've got the little. Gonna have to keep him. I'll be juggling on the unicycle to try to keep him engaged. And not. He knows. He knows.
Okay.
He knows.
All right, we need a contestant for a Monday edition of Take on Woods. We actually have a special prize this week. It's a 1-week prize for some pretty great concert tickets. It's called the When We Were Young Festival with bands like Blink-182, Panic at the Disco, and The Offspring. But only this week, but only one qualifier. But sometimes we only get one qualifier during the week. So you may just win the prize if you can beat our Ty Woods in our musical trivia challenge. We will do that next. Just call now to get online as our contestant, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Tickets to a sold-out first day of the festival coming up when we return with more Ben and Woods. Then Dennis Lynn will join us at the bottom of the hour for his first of his weekly check-ins throughout the season. All coming up after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. First, I'm going to talk about SDFatLoss.com. Summer is fast approaching. It is T-shirt and short season, bathing suits, head to the beach, head to the pool. And in San Diego, you want to look your best. So start right now. And in 2 months from now, when, let's see, April, May, start of June, you are going to be a new you. You can lose up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days by following the proprietary doctor-planned-out strategies from SDFatLoss.com. I did it a year and a half ago. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days by eating real foods, stuff I could stick with on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, I got into a routine, a roll on my chicken and my steak and my fish, and I was able to eat and lose the weight, and now I've kept it off because you're not relying on injections, and you're not relying on shakes or bars or mixes. It's just a sustainable program that sets you up for success going forward with SDFatLoss.com. Here's what you do. Go to their website, SDFatLoss.com, set up your free consultation. If the program seems right for you, you can get $200 off right now during their spring special. Don't wait. The longer you wait, and summer's going to be here, and you're going to go, why didn't I just start earlier? Start now. Get $200 off during the spring special by going to SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Just to our boss, Adam Klug, for the first time this week. Seemed in a surprisingly decent mood, considering the fact his Atlanta Braves got bodied 4 straight by the Padres. Did you see him posting his picture of him in a Padres jersey?
I did. Quit asking me who I'm rooting for.
He knows where his bread is buttered.
I don't want to think about Adam's bread being buttered.
You don't?
I'll be honest.
So
Ever.
now we can all cheer for the Braves for the next 3 days.
Huge Braves fan.
I don't even know if I am. It's like we probably are still, as Padres fans, competing more with the Braves for a wild card spot than the Dodgers for a division
We
title.
mentioned it during the offseason. Like, really, outside of the 13 times that we faced the Dodgers, you kind of, unfortunately, want them to win.
Beat up on everybody.
Every other game.
I know.
The last thing you want is a team to shockingly take, 5 out of 6 from the Dodgers, and then they have a leg up on everybody, including you, for potentially a wild card spot at the end of the season. That's weird. It's a weird dilemma because you want to cheer against the Dodgers, but it's probably not the best thing overall, unless the Padres keep winning like this, and
who beats us?
They go into June when they first play the Dodgers, both teams still undefeated at 71-0 going into that matchup.
Something's got to give.
Something going for sure. All right, Dennis Lind coming up in our next segment. Right now, let's get to our first game of the week. It is time for Take on Woods. All right, we got some new names on here. Let me try the first one. Don't go anywhere, anyone. Is this Eric?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, Eric, you calling in for Take on Woods?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's do it. Take on Woods is brought to you.
Tickets.
Yeah, let's see if you can win. I'm Take on Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. And as I mentioned, just this week, you are playing to qualify for a week grand prize, and that is 2 tickets to the sold out When We Were Young Festival in Las Vegas on October 18th. Blink 182, Panic at the Disco, The Offspring, and more. Now, tickets for day 2 are on sale at whenwewereyoungfestival.com. But you can win tickets to the sold-out day 1 here by beating or tying Woods in our 5-question musical trivia challenge. And you get to pick the category, Eric. So here are your choices. We've still got Basketball Goose. Tier 1 Goose came up with this one, all inspired by basketball and March Madness. The Best of Us, 5 song titles that include the word us. And La La Land, no, not Los Angeles, 5 song titles that include the word la, or the sound la. So Basketball Goose, The Best of Us, or La La Land. Eric, what do you want to play?
Let's try The Best of Us.
The Best of Us. Okay, 5 song titles that include the simple 2-letter word us. You'll have 60 seconds. Answer as many as you can. You can pass if you don't know an answer. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question is the 2-second song. Paulie will cue it up now. You need to give me that title and the artist to score that point. You go first. Woods goes second. We'll compare scores at the end. Eric, you good to go?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock in the category The Best of Us. Eric, your time begins when Paul plays our music. Good luck. Let's take on Woods.
Psst, I see dead people.
Pass.
Which In Excess power ballad includes the lines, I was standing, you were there, 2 worlds collided?
Never Tear Us Apart.
Correct. Which 1987 #1 hit by Starship was the love theme for the movie Mannequin?
Pass.
Joan Osborne speculates that God could be a stranger on a bus, in which 1995 debut hit.
One of Us.
Correct. Originally an
One of Us.
instrumental, Grover Washington Jr. added vocals by Bill Withers to create which 1981 smooth jazz sensation?
I have no idea. Pass.
Go back to our 2-second song, Paulie.
I see dead people.
Come on.
I was going to say, let the bodies hit the floor.
No, that was Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. You did get Never Tear Us Apart and One of Us. You missed Starship. That's Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. And Just the Two of Us by Bill Withers. All right, we got 2, but this is a tough category, I think. Eric, hang on the line. See if your score holds up here. All right, Eric's score is locked in. Woodsy returns, puts on his headphones. He does not get the category, but he gets the same 60 seconds, the same 5 questions. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Eric.
Psst, I see dead people.
Pass.
Which In Excess power ballad includes the lines, I was standing.
Never Tear Us Apart.
Correct. Which 1987 #1 hit by Starship was the love theme for the movie Mannequin?
Nothing Gonna Stop Us Now?
Correct. Joan Osborne speculates that God could be a stranger on a bus.
What if God was one of us?
One of us, correct. Originally an instrumental, Grover Washington Jr. added vocals by Bill Withers to create which 1981 smooth jazz sensation?
Ain't No Sunshine?
Incorrect. Go down to our 2-second song.
Psst, I see dead people.
This is all you got left, so
I'm out.
Play with it. You're out?
Yeah.
That was Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us.
Oh, that's it. That's how it starts.
And
Damn
Grover
it.
Washington's Just the Two of Us. But you got a 3-2 win over Eric, who really wanted to qualify for those tickets. But no, they will stay in the hopper this week for the When We Were Young Festival. So better luck tomorrow. Eric, thank you for playing. Woodsy got you by 1 today. The category was
calling me a boomer.
The Best of Us, which
All right.
you had us in all the answers.
I like that. Just the two of us. I like that one. We can make it.
So that's Bill Withers singing, but Grover Washington Jr. is the artist on the song.
I like it. I
It's his
learn
song.
something new every day.
All right, we're going to learn something new about the Padres. I guarantee you this season from Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. He's going to join us every Monday starting next here on 97.3 The Fan.
Can't wait for that. Wanted to tell all the homeowners in the audience, so listen up. If you need a little extra cash, what could you do with an extra, I don't know, 75 grand, maybe even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. It's your money. It's your equity. You've earned it. Let them help you get it out. Use it to pay off those high interest credit card bills or pay off your car loan or start that home remodel. No time like the present. They got several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. Virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, and oftentimes no appraisal. Average homeowner has about $300,000 in equity right now. That's your money. Use it. All right. You can get approved in as little as a day. So act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com, 619-207-4336. Get the money you need for anything at all. 619-207-4336. Or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
And the Padres go 5-0 for the first time in franchise history. They will have the opportunity to do so tonight at Petco Park in the first game of a 3-game series against the Cleveland Guardians. You'll hear it right here on 97.3 The Fan at 6:40, 5:40 pregame show with Sam Levitt. And covering the game, of course, as he does almost every single game, it'll be Dennis Lin from The Athletic. He's going to join us on a weekly basis, including his debut appearance coming up right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by your local San Diego County, the UPS stores. Rain hitting a good part of the county this morning, guys, so please be extra careful out there. Have those headlights on so you're more visible to other drivers. Got to crash the coastline southbound 5 before Loma Santa Fe. Those vehicles are blocking the fast lane. And looks like a crash has cleared in the Fallbrook area, Mission Avenue, off-ramp of southbound 15. Hit-and-run accident in the East County, West 8, just past West Main Street. That's over to the right shoulder. Your local San Diego County, the UPS store locations are hosting a shred event from April 7th through April 15th. 50% off shredding services. Visit theupsstore.com for the location nearest you. See store for details. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Quickly, this segment of Ben & Woods brought to you by Robert Half. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why their recruiters, expertise, and award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. Joining us, covering the San Diego Padres. We've been wanting to set this up for a while.
Yeah,
and
a couple of years now.
Finally worked out thanks to our friends at Hamul Casino, who are going to be sponsoring the segment all year long. It is a pleasure to welcome Dennis Lin to the program this morning. D. Lin, Woods and I, very happy to have you on. Good morning.
Thanks, guys, and I am honored to be here. It's been fun watching you guys over the last 7 years build up a really strong community and following, and just honored to be a small part of it this year.
Oh, man, it was like, big game hunting, trying to get Dennis Lin to finally get this thing done. And to have you here, we bagged the elephant, Ben. Finally, Dennis Lin is a Ben & Woods regular. Dennis, welcome to the program. Loved, was just perusing your latest piece, talking about this pretty incredible start that the San Diego Padres have gotten off to. And I mean, I would have been happy against a really good Braves team. I would have been happy with a 2-2 record as they sit here today, 4-0. Dennis, where do you kind of point the fingers at what's been so successful?
Well, I'm actually personally upset that Mike Schilt didn't use the term grid squad in all 4 games.
I know.
He only used it after the first 2, so that was a big upset, personally, in my opinion. But yeah, it really looks like a lot like the team we saw in the second half of last season. So if you go back to the All-Star break of 2024, they're 47-20, at least in the regular season. So that's pretty good, and that's going to ease a lot of the concerns that popped up over the offseason. A lot of noise, obviously, around the franchise and kind of a lack of buzz around the game. But if you win four games out of 4 against the Atlanta Braves, I know they're missing guys like Acuna and Spencer Strider and Sean Murphy, but that's still a very good team. I think that's something you can feel really good about and hang your hat on going forward.
4 games is not really long enough to establish a trend, but we did see some things, and I wanted to ask you a couple of whether you thought were real or not real. Like Luis Ariz going 0 for 13. Not a trend, obviously, right? Dennis, we're all confident he's going to turn it around.
Yeah. I think you saw a couple of solid lineouts yesterday. He's still happy, still bouncing around the clubhouse. I think Profar spiked him at first base yesterday, but he seemed to shake that off just fine. And I would expect, I'm banking on this since I predicted he's going to hit 360 this season. I would expect some 4-hit games pretty soon here.
What about Jason Hayward? He's off to a slow start as well. That one, again, early, but a little more concerning. But we saw, David Peralta was on the verge of being dumped last year and then got hot as a veteran. 4 games, you can't jump to any conclusions, but he looks a little more concerning with his at-bats.
Right, and this goes back a ways because, he's always been a really good defender. The bats, ever since his rookie season, the bats never really quite been there, at least on a consistent basis, and now he's 35, and he's only making $1 million. So the Padres don't have a lot to lose if they, move on at some point, but I think, they're going to ride this out a bit longer because, there's a reason they put guys like him and Gurriel and Maldonado on the opening day roster, because if you don't, you kind of lose some depth right off the bat. No pun intended, but, Connor Joe had a really solid spring. He's down in AAA because he had an option left. And, if Jason Hayward doesn't pick it up at the plate a little bit, I think there's going to be some, serious conversations about what the future of left field looks like in San Diego, at least in the short term.
Talking to the Athletics' Dennis Lynn here on Ben and Woods this morning. And D-Lynn, you've been covering this team a long time. When you look at how last year went, of course, you look how the season has started. You were there for spring training as well. You notice it too, right? It feels like this organization is a different organization than it was. Now, for us, for you, you're covering the team. You're looking for something that you can write that's going to get eyeballs on it. Has it been a little bit more boring for you the last season and then the first, part of this year? Because it's been fairly quiet for us. You don't hear a lot of people upset. You don't see and hear a lot of players, saying the wrong things like we all kind of used to.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's hard to call them a boring organization as long as AJ Preller's in charge. So that's always helped. I guess thank you, AJ.
100%.
Because he's going to do something, on the trade market at times. So that's kept things interesting. But yeah, it's a good question. I think, winning is not boring. Being a 500 team, just smack in the middle, unless, you did it the way the Padres did it in 2023, riding a roller coaster like they did. That was not boring, but just being like a mediocre, middle of the road team that doesn't have a GM looking to make some crazy moves all the time. That's boring in my book, but I think the Padres have kept things interesting and kept us all on their toes the last couple of years, just like they have pretty much the entire decade.
I think, some of the credit, a lot of the credit has to go to Mike Schilt. And, in your experience covering Mike Schilt, you've seen it, there's the homespun folksiness, the grit squad, you kind of roll your eyes at times, but you can't deny, Dennis, that his message is working.
It's cutting through
with these players. And, what has been your observations of Mike Schilt now in a season now plus with the San Diego Padres?
Well, number one, he's probably as hands-on of a manager as I've covered. Maybe the Padres needed that after, Bob Melvin was more of a, laid back, kind of let the clubhouse run itself. Not that, Mike doesn't, let the clubhouse do that here, but he's got the daily ball talk sessions he brought over from St. Louis. He's always encouraging guys to talk about the finer points of the game and go over what they did well and not as well from the previous night's game. And yeah, some guys might have, rolled their eyes in the beginning at that. And, some guys might still roll their eyes a little bit at some of the folksiness that you referred to and some of the hands-on nature of, his managerial style. But, what guys love more than anything else is winning. And they've been winning since the All-Star break last year. So that's made it easier to buy in and just that attention to detail. I think, after a while, it's really sunk in, and that's just kind of who they are now. So I think, yeah, credit does go to Mike Schilt for instilling just a very detailed, fundamental approach to baseball. It's not reinventing the wheel, right? But it's just maybe those constant daily reminders of how the game should be played. And the Padres do play a little bit different style than other teams. And for them, I think just being different and also winning at the same time has made it easier for these players to really, buy what he's selling.
And Dennis, Jackson Merrill talked about it. We talked about it. This team wanted to hit the ground running is Jackson Merrill's quote. And you can't do any better than 4-0 in your first 4 games. I did think it was imperative that this team gets off to a hot start because, if this team floundered and you're sitting there perched at 500, and they still very well may be. Baseball's very, very strange that way. They could very well be a 500 team in July. Dennis, then the real questions start jumping up. All right, well, Dylan Cease to a contender, Michael King to a contender, Luis Ariz to a contender, Robert Suarez, all of these things. Me personally, obviously, I want to see them go on a pretty tremendous run. I want to add players at the deadline like AJ Preller loves to do. It would be really weird to watch him punt away players at the deadline. But for now, have you heard anything at all about like a potential Eggy Rosario trade? I know they're looking right now. Anything else in the hopper that you can share?
Yeah, I think Eggy's drawn some interest. It's kind of, I think it's kind of hard for some teams early this season, especially early in the season, every year really, to take chances so early on a guy or a guy from another team when they've just kind of formed their up-and-day roster. But there are teams like maybe the Marlins or rebuilding teams, White Sox, who might fit the bill for a guy like Eddie Rosario. I mean, he's still young, still has a interesting skill set, and would be a guy to maybe take a chance on. But yeah, to your larger point, the fast start for the Padres. I think they only have 105 games left until the trade deadline. Not that anyone's counting, but yeah, 4 games, 4 wins here and there. That could, especially for a guy like AJ, who, like you said, he loves going for it. He doesn't like trading guys away if he can help it. So 4 games can make a huge difference a few months from now.
Dennis, I still think, despite, what an amazing start by Nick Pivetta yesterday and Randy Vasquez the day before, starting pitching depth is one of my biggest concerns about the Padres this season. I oddly not worried about Dylan Cease and Michael King, even though they didn't throw as well as the other 2 guys. Yeah. What are you kind of expecting from Kyle Hart today, and just kind of how the season is going to progress here with these guys? Yu Darvish hopefully making his return. I don't know if you've heard anything new. I heard long toss and kind of making the slow progressions, but just kind of the overall starting pitching situation now for the Padres.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Darvish is coming back anytime soon, although he's continuing to ramp up the intensity of his catch sessions. But yeah, they got Stephen Kolek down in AAA, had a good season debut with the El Paso Chihuahuas the other day. And yeah, outside of that, they do look pretty thin. But yeah, Nick Pivetta pitching well helps in his debut very well, actually. And as far as Kyle Hart goes, I think the Padres, if they get, what's considered by most definitions just a solid number 5 star in the majors, they'd be very happy with that, because back in 2020, he made 4 very forgettable appearances for the Boston Red Sox. Now, that's a very small sample in a kind of a weird environment back then, but I know he's definitely aware of his career ERA in the majors, and he wants to change that. And just, being a 4.5 ERA kind of guy. If the Padres get that, I think both the Padres and Kyle Hart would be pretty happy with that.
Man, Dennis, I got to tell you, it was worth the wait, my friends. Get used to it. Every single Monday, we'll be joined by Dennis Len from The Athletic. Thank you so much for your time, and looking forward to next Monday already, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it, and I am really looking forward to it as well.
Welcome to the family.
And,
yes, sir.
I think Paulie will have a new open for us probably by next week. We'll work on that. But for now, thanks to Dennis Lin for joining us, and thanks to Hamul Casino Resort for sponsoring the segment each week. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place. And that's the first. Of course, tomorrow will be Jesse Agler. Big League Wednesday on Wednesday with various big leaguers that'll join us. Thursday will be Eno Sarah's Smart Baseball, and then Sam Levitt and Friar Friday with Mike Schilt and other guests from the Padres on Fridays all throughout the season here with Ben and Woods.
Yeah, looking forward to that very much. Looking forward to watching Kyle Hart pitch tonight. Obviously, no one on the Guardians has ever seen him throw. So he will have the element of surprise, certainly, Ben, as he takes on the Guardians tonight. They'll be taking on Luis Ortiz, who is decent, pretty good pitcher, had decent numbers last year, but some Padres have had some success against him. We could talk about that. One notable big number, Luis Ortiz batting .556. So he sees Luis Ortiz really well. Be a nice night for Luis Ortiz to get on the board with a couple of knocks. I'm going to call it now. Luis Ortiz, 2 hits tonight.
All right. I think that's actually a pretty good call.
Concerning was that little comment there towards the end with Dennis. He said, doesn't look like Yu Darvish is anywhere close to returning.
Little bit.
I hadn't really seen a ton of updates other than he's playing catch, which I at least took that as that's a positive.
That's the mechanics of how long it takes to return as a pitcher. All right, he's playing long toss. If that goes well,
then they bump him up.
Then
to
they get
flat
to go
ground.
onto a mound and
flat ground, then a mound,
and then
I guess what I'm saying is when
then
he went down originally in my head, for whatever reason, it sounded like 1 or 2 rounds through the rotation.
See, that's
and
weird.
he'd
I
be
thought
back.
Tommy John immediately. The minute somebody's elbow hurts even a little, I'm like, that's good, Tommy John.
Right.
So somewhere in the middle.
Saw you yesterday after the game.
Me?
He was walking. No, you Darvish as he was walking out of the clubhouse. Said hello. Gave him the little head nod to the bow. You, good to see you. He said, good to see you too. And then he left. What?
Nothing.
That's common sign of respect in Japanese culture. You just a little bow of the head as he goes by. I want to just quickly follow up on my Jason Hayward question, because I don't want to seem like I'm trying to bury Jason Hayward with the Padres before he's even started. It bears further watching. The Braves did throw some nasty. I mean, there was a lot of pitching ninja of the Braves, of AJ Smith-Shawver, and some of the balls that he was throwing yesterday. It's not filthy. Schwellenbach was really, really good. I mean, Hayward saw some nasty pitches. You know, it's not an indictment completely against him that he didn't have a big offensive series. But the Padres do have other options in Connor Joe and Tirso that are in the minor leagues, and you can't just go with him forever if he's not going to produce. Now, 4 games is not nearly enough to make any sort of judgment call on Jason Hayward.
How long? 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks. That's what I was thinking. 21 games. All right, bud. I wish so badly for Jason Hayward to get on a roll and start hitting, man. I would love him to be a part of this team. One of my favorite interviews we've ever done. Ever.
Absolutely.
And again, the reports, world's greatest teammate, like across the board.
And again, before Peralta hit that big home run, literally it was like a day away from being DFA.
He was on his last
and then turned it around.
Yep, let's go.
Veterans do that sometimes. All right, we've got 1 hour to go. We may hear some from Nick Pivetta after his great start when we come back. Reindl Report ahead as well. All next with Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Spectacular, Ben. I've got the brand new. Look at that bad boy. I've got the Jackson Merrill bobblehead. Okay, presented by Canals. Tonight's game, 6:40. Piece of Merrill madness right here in my hand. Look at that. If you're looking on the stream, it's great. It's Jackson. Beautiful swing. Got the tattoos on the arm. Got the eye black that he wears, like the long eye black.
Gold chain.
Gold chain. Looks really good. And the head is bobbling. My meth
if
hands.
it didn't, then it wouldn't be a bobblehead.
Just be a statue, a little mini statue.
I asked Jackson after the game last night because I'm going to do a piece on him for Channel 10 today. I know he doesn't care about such things, but to be 21 and have your own bobblehead already.
Awesome.
Usually that's something that comes along with, yeah, I've been in the league for 9 years, signed my big free agent contract, and now I'm getting my bobblehead, after I've established myself. And he's done it all so quickly.
Yes.
I mean, he's hit the stratosphere. I saw more Jackson Merrill jerseys, I think, than Tatis jerseys
it was
on
insane.
opening day.
Insane.
It's he is really a burgeoning superstar.
Yes, he
in
is.
baseball, and he's performing like one too. He comes up to the plate, and I expect him to drive the ball hard somewhere.
Good things to happen, buddy. What's he about 470 on the season so far?
Something like that, yeah.
Not too shabby.
And and again, unlucky a little bit like last year. He's hit some balls hard that turned into outs as well. He's inches away from a couple of home runs. Those will come as well. He's hitting the ball too well, not for them to start coming. The ball wasn't carrying that much. Padres only hit 3 home runs in the series, all solo shots. They just got the one run at a time here and there against the Braves. There wasn't a ton of, other than the opening day 7th inning rally. There wasn't a lot of crooked numbers on the scoreboard this weekend. It was just a lot of good baseball, get the runner over and getting them in, coming up with clutch 2-out hits for the San Diego Padres.
So people ask, I just showed it, but they want to see more of Jackson Merrill. You can't get enough Merrill madness here. I was going to take this home for the kids, but Adam told me Scraby wants it, so I'll leave it for Scraby.
Put the bat back in. There you go. Looks weird when he doesn't have the bat. He's got a nice swing, even on a bobblehead version.
It does. He looks like him, too. It's a good likeness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Well done,
If
guys.
I had to, we talk about it all the time. Jackson Merrill was built in a lab. He's flawless. He's everything you want in a cornerstone piece of your franchise. If there was any flaw that he has, it's that he needs to, I think, enjoy the little things like that just a little bit more. Because if you ask him about the bobblehead or
I don't care, I just want to win baseball
he's
games.
like, I don't care as long as we win that day. And it's the right answer. And we all love it. And I get it. But just once, if you were to be like, I grew up collecting bobbleheads.
It's pretty badass.
It's pretty awesome.
So-
I'm not going to lie.
So
I
he
think that'd
did,
go a long way.
did admit last night that he had to go to Target yesterday morning. And instead of his usual route home, he went back on the 163 so he could see that
the sign,
the Jackson Merrill sign that mysteriously popped up over the weekend. It looks
Who
like
did that, by the way?
It looks like an official traffic sign. I can't believe that Caltrans was responsible for that. Home of Merrill Madness and the real 2024 National League Rookie of the Year, Jackson Merrill.
Yes.
I mean, it's he said, yeah, no, I went and saw it just to see if it was actually like real. I didn't totally believe it myself, so I wanted to go by, and I did actually see the sign that is there. And as far as I know, it was still up as of yesterday. I mean, I can't imagine if it's not a real road sign that they're going to allow that.
I know. It's been there like 3 days. It was their
forever.
opening
I mean,
day, I guess. That is fantastic.
This is the city that made them move the surfing Madonna 15 feet because it was on a public train track thing as opposed to just someone's private wall. So I don't know that the Jackson Merrill sign is going to get to stay, but pretty cool. Whoever did that, you remain anonymous and a secret Padres fan, but that they made the Fox broadcast on Saturday.
San Diego's own Banksy out there putting up street signs for Jackson Merrill. So I love that. Whoever you are, reveal yourself or don't, or keep doing things like that. I like it.
Home to Merrill Mania and Jackson Merrill, the real 2024 NL Rookie of the Year.
That's incredible.
But it looks like such a real sign.
I know.
Like the font is right.
It's so good.
It looks like it kind of belongs there, but below downtown Echo Park left lane. So strange.
It's so good, dude. I've driven through Abbott, Texas, and seen the birthplace of Willie Nelson sign. It looks just like that.
Is there
man.
more now? Someone says there's one on the 94.
Get
Someone says
outta
there's one on
here.
the 5 now too.
Outstanding.
I don't know.
I love that.
Popping up all over the place.
Who is this little instigator out there? I like you, whoever you are. I hope you listen to Ben and Woods. That's great.
we could be on their way to some Nick Pivetta signage around town if he continues to throw like he did yesterday. What a fantastic debut. I mean, I'm sure he wanted to acquit himself well with a new team. Always some first start jitters, but certainly didn't look like it. Faced the minimum 21 batters, 7 shutout innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, was throwing the ball in the zone, extremely efficient, works quickly, does his fast walk around the mound after he gets everybody out.
Iconic. I love it.
We were worried. So I was up there
He's like Max Scherzer.
He is. He's got like a
watching
Scherzer vibe.
A little bit. Yeah, I was up in the press box with Sammy, and he was worried because he wanted to get some post-game, maybe an interview with Nick Pivetta.
Makes you pee, huh?
And he knew once the ESPN got him, because they interviewed him right after his 7 innings were done, because they're not going to make him do my post-game interview. I said, so don't worry, Sammy. I will go into the clubhouse, and if he speaks, I'll be there with a camera, and you will have some sound. And I was there, and we were able to get some reaction from Nick Pivetta.
You and Sammy tag teamed it last night.
We did.
I love it.
Look
at
so
you guys.
I was in the scrum last night with
What
my
is a
camera.
scrum?
Scrum is when you gather around a locker and talk to the player and shove microphones in his face.
Right.
And here was Nick Pivetta last night after the game.
Get off to a start like this and be part of this rotation. How do you feel overall just about?
It's a great honor to be here. I'm very, very excited to be here, and just trying to keep things one step at a time, just not try to stray too far away from this.
Have you Ruben been tinkering with a lot, or has he kind of just let you do your thing? And
Yeah, I've had some really good conversations with Ruben. He's kind of led me in some really good directions, along with the overall philosophy of what it is here. And I think those things are just kind of things that I needed to kind of change and adapt to, and then execute during the game.
I think allowed you to be as efficient as you were tonight.
I was in the strike zone. I think that's just what it was. I was just, I think my 1-1 counts were pretty good. And then, they were swinging the bat quite often, and luckily they were just hitting the ground or hitting the air, and I was able to move on to the next guy.
Played in some pretty fun environments. What do you make what this has been like this weekend and tonight?
Yeah, it's a really great start for the club and for the organization, and the fans' love and their excitement and energy has been tremendous, and it's just exciting to be here, exciting to be play in front of them. That's why we all play the game, because everybody loves baseball.
what sort of appreciation have you gotten from the defense that you have playing behind you?
Yeah, we have a bunch of professionals out here. They're really good at what they do, their craft, their work. It's just an honor to be able to play beside them and just try to go for the ultimate goal, winning the championship.
All 4 wins have been different. Do you see any commonalities?
I know that voice.
Watching and not participating.
Yeah, it's just a team effort overall. It's all 26 guys doing their job and putting in and showing up when needed. And, it's just fun and exciting, and guys are enjoying it. And that's just where we want to continue to be, even though it's a, early start, just we're a long season ahead, but just stay right here.
22 scoreless innings against the Braves. How big is that as a ball club and the pitching staff to hold the Braves to 22 scoreless, especially when they grind you guys out so much?
Yeah, top to down or top to bottom, everybody's doing their job, but it doesn't just it translates on the baseball field, but it really shows up in the little things, in the work, in the daily work to work, the conversations being had, and everybody just kind of feeding off each other. I think that's just an important factor.
Sound like he was ready to go.
Well, I think he's the kind of guy who just wants to move on to the next
I just
thing.
want to go to the next start.
He's very calm, though,
He's very
considering
calm.
how uncalm he looks on the mound. And then you talk to him, and he's, just normal kind of sounding
cliche,
guy.
just firing cliches at you. Firing, just.
Now, if you're going to be doing this a little bit more often,
Yeah.
can I give you some constructive
Sure.
criticism?
Oh, yeah. Yes, finally, the tables have turned.
Maybe turn that mic to those asking the questions a little bit, so
Yeah.
you can hear the
Okay,
questions.
I
just a
only-
little better.
so-
That's Paulie. It's a great. Darnay does that really well.
He does.
When he's in there, he does a really good job.
You know who
So
else?
I have
Julian does a really good job of that. Jake Hernani.
Jake is
You
phenomenal.
never have to go.
Hold
What were
on.
they
I know.
asking?
You never, yeah, you have to,
myself.
You don't have to
when
strain to
Jake
hear
and
it.
Julian go, they have a camera operator, and they're just holding the microphone. I was holding the camera and the microphone. I can't
So you're
move the
telling me you got
microphone.
your camera in one arm and then your microphone in the other arm. You couldn't.
I could not move. No, I cannot move the microphone around. It's a very short cable.
Okay.
And I was lucky to actually get it even in front of Nick Pivetta's face, and I was not going to move it at any point. Once I got it there, I was locked in, and you were lucky to get any audio of the questions at all.
Old Schulte always says, losers make excuses, winners find solutions. So you got to decide
All
what
right,
you
all
want to
right,
be.
Fine. Here's my solution. Paulie, if you want to come and hold either the microphone or the camera, I have a perfect solution
Paulie
for
is his
better audio
camera-
after the game.
Paulie is his camera operator. Would be so sick.
I'm good.
That's fine. It's
So,
fine.
I'm trying to be efficient, do things myself now.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. It was great to hear your voice. I did give me a little charge. Oh, I know him. I know that guy. I love it.
And yes, that was our friend Annie who was asking some questions. She's been working for the UT, doing some stories.
Yep.
So happy for her. I got to see her opening weekend. We missed her tremendously, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago. So it was good to see her. So yeah, absolutely. That was fun to be in the clubhouse last night.
You should do a contest. Tier 1 gets to come in and hold my camera. I bet they would jump at that. It'd be the best contest we ever did.
Yeah, I mean, if the Padres would allow it, it is true. It's
cool.
We
as
get
hell.
kind of
spoiled,
and we get used to it being in the clubhouse. I mean, if you got to do it once, though, you'd be
lose your
in awe.
mind.
You'd be like, I can't believe I'm standing in here. I still get that occasionally.
Me too.
I can't believe I am standing inside the Padres clubhouse here at Petco Park.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But then you have to pretend like you're super cool.
Yeah, you're super cool. This is no
and
big
it's
deal.
Really nonchalant.
Yep.
And this isn't a big deal
You
because
can't just be like taking pictures.
no, you can't.
talking-
And, there's definitely etiquette and protocols that you got to follow pretty carefully when you're in there, which makes it kind of a nerve-wracking experience. But
you don't want anybody's hog ending up on the internet.
that is true
which
too.
is
Yeah.
absolutely.
I got worried a
possible.
little bit because I hadn't done it in a while.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep it. There was a moment where Dylan Cease popped in, and I could see, he doesn't have a shirt on. I'm trying to move the camera to make sure I don't shoot anything too low. Careful, don't edit that properly if there is any mistakes, and don't put that on the internet or anything.
Yeah,
So,
I saw Jake Cronenworth's bare butt last year, and it was jarring to see. And I'm glad I didn't have my camera out doing an interview as well, because I would have caught it.
what they do in locker rooms, they change
Change
their
clothes. Oh, it'd be so uncomfortable. Imagine everywhere
And they
you
do it,
were.
and there's women in there too.
I know.
So,
you got to be careful. The towel, the quick surfers change,
Yeah,
under
they
the
do that,
towel,
yeah.
and then it's. Some guys don't care. Some guys will just let it rip.
I will never forget being down there in the clubhouse last year when Toddy came back from his injury, he was ready to go, and of course had 20 plus people surrounded his locker. Well, you know who had the locker next to him was Hassan Kim.
Hassan Kim
who had
in
just
the
gotten out of the
chamber.
shower.
Yes.
He had a towel wrapped around him, and he came out and he saw that there was no chance he had of getting anywhere near his locker.
No.
So he went back to where media can't go. And 5 minutes later, he comes out to check. Okay, now surely everybody's gone. I can change. Nope, everybody was still standing right in front of his locker, and he's kind of tapping guys on the shoulder. Can I just?
Can I just need to get my underwear on here, man? Please let me get something on here.
so
it was
uncomfortable.
so funny, and you saw him walk out and go, "Oh, it's gonna be a while." It's so great.
All right, different challenge for the Padres tonight as they welcome the Cleveland Guardians. We will look ahead to the 3-game series. When we come back, still have a Reindl Report to get to as well. It is all coming up. More Ben Woods ahead on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
I will die on the hill that San Diego's best card room is 7 Mile Casino. It's not just close, which is great benefit. It's a quick drive from downtown, just 7 minutes away. But it's really nice. Upscale. It's comfortable. The dealers are friendly. They take care of all of their players, but especially if you're a high-limit player, they want you to know. They know how to treat high-limit players right. They've got good action, good stakes at their Texas Hold'em tables, at their Pie Gow tables, at their California-style blackjack tables. They want you to make 7 Mile Casino your card-playing home.
It's everything that you're looking for in a card room, and it's everything that you're not looking for. You don't want cigarette smoke blowing in your face, cigar smoke blowing in your face.
I mean, if you do, you might have to go somewhere else.
You have to go. You do have to go somewhere else. If you want to go play slot machines, not the place for you. No slot machines ringing in your ear. Nobody blowing, backwood cigar smoke in your face either. It's friendly people, smoke-free environment, and the best part, the proximity, just 7 minutes from downtown. Do yourself a favor, check it out for yourself this year. Make it a priority to get down to 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Always try to figure out whether these stats mean anything or not. Saw this one that was posted by our friend Tom Giannis Poodle on Twitter this morning. Highest slugging percentage as leadoff hitter, baseball history, minimum 162 games. And he has the top 7 here listed. This is from a graphic. I don't know if it's MLB Network or ESPN. Francisco Lindor, 520. Ronald Acuna Jr., 533. Hanley Ramirez, 535. Mookie Betts, 537. Alfonso Soriano, 538. Mike Trout, 550. And then jumping all the way up to 602 in the number 1 spot all time, Fernando Tatis Jr., highest slugging percentage as a leadoff hitter in baseball history. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes.
Does it mean he's in the wrong slot in the order, or does it mean that he's in the right slot in the order?
Well, it means he has been in the wrong spot in the order. It means he's finally in the right spot in the order. He should be in the right spot, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't you want your slugging percentage guys, though, to come up with runners on base after?
Name the other guys.
Some of your good hitters.
Again.
Trout, Soriano, Betts, Ramirez, Acuna, Lindor.
Those guys are pretty good.
Yeah,
they
so
get
is
plenty.
Tatis.
They get plenty of stakes, plenty of homers. I'm fine with. Yes, the fantasy. Everybody's fantasy is Luis Ariz hits a single to start the game. Jackson Merrill comes up, hits a double. It's 1st and 3rd, and Fernando comes up and hits the 3-run homer, and it's 3-0. Right? Everybody wants that. We've kind of seen it go. We've seen this team go away from waiting on the 3-run homer. They've had that team before. In 2023, they were that team. Didn't work. This station-to-station approach, the fact that, with one pitch, one swing, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, and that you only are guaranteed to lead off the once to start the game.
Right.
And you get, your best player, your best offensive player up the most often by putting him in the leadoff spot.
Correct.
There are good arguments there. But remember, he is also now batting after, your catchers had a really good weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know how long
that's
going
to continue.
That long that's going to hold, but, Hayward hasn't gotten any hits. You've got probably a couple of spots in the order before him that aren't going to get a lot of guys on. So every time he comes up, you might not see a ton of action in front of him, which means when he does hit, inevitably, with that slugging percentage, hits his 30, 40 home runs. A lot of them are going to be solo shots that way. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's probably something that should be continually open for discussion.
I mean,
going forward.
you know, some of the guys you listed didn't have the strongest 7 through 9 either. You know, the Mike Trouts of the world, the Mookie Bettses of the world.
Yeah, I mean, just because they're good at it, though. I mean, the Angels never turned Mike Trout into any team success. The goal is to turn this into team success. It's not to make Tatis the best player possible. He looks really good in the leadoff spot,
bro, and he
looks really good.
The other thing that, like Brandon says, in fairness, if the guys aren't on in front of him, he can steal bags too. He's healthy. He's running again. I just think it's the right move. It's your best hitter, and he's leading off. And you know, they were talking about on the broadcast yesterday. Does anyone think that it's messing with Luis Arraez batting in the 2-hole? I don't think it is. I think it's just really, you know, a tough start to the season. I think it's a little bit unlucky, and I think, you know, he'll be fine eventually. I think that's a really, really good spot for him because, again, you can see his ability to pull the ball when he needs to move a guy over. If Toddy ends up doubling Ben to start the game, I have the ultimate confidence. If Luis Arraez doesn't get a hit, he's getting Fernando Tatis Jr. to third. Manny comes in, drives him in. I mean, that's really, really great. Yeah, the solo shots are fine for now. I like the move. I think it's the right move.
All right. I mean, again, I see both sides of the argument on this one.
Yeah.
Not going to change anything now. It's working team-wise for the Padres. They're 4-0.
Yeah, keep getting them to the plate.
Can they get to 5-0 for the first time in franchise history tonight as they open a 3-game series against the Cleveland Guardians? And the Guardians look pretty good. They won 2 out of 3 at the Royals to open the season. The couple of guys who are hot for the Guardians coming in. Kyle Manzardo, their first baseman, has an OPS of 1,844. He's 5 for 11 with a double, a triple, 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. So he's 14 total bases and just 11 at-bats. Their version of Luis Arraez, and in some ways maybe even a more complete version, Stephen Kwan, is off to a fast start. He's hitting 500 to start the season. He's 6 for 12 with a double and a home run to get going. So he is hot. Now, guys who aren't hot but usually are, Carlos Santana's off to a bit of a slower start. He's just 2 for 12 with a double to open the season. But, you know, Santana, you know, he's going to get his
against the Padres.
Probably against the Padres for sure. Bo Naylor, catcher, off to a slow start as well. He's only 2 for 12, hitting 167 behind the plate. And Jose Ramirez has not played. Has he been not healthy?
He had a sprain
something?
In his wrist. He's day to day.
Yeah, he is over 6 so far this year. So that will be interesting to see how available he is going into this series. But yeah, I mean, you know, they won the division last year. They generally find a way to be better than people expect them to be.
Scrappy kind of club, you know, scrappy club. Did you see the play yesterday when Clase drilled Jonathan India in the face?
Oh, yeah.
In Kansas City. It was nasty, right in the chin. After going up and in the pitch before, too, and then dots him in the face. So that's a little scary. You don't want to see a lot of Emmanuel Clase in this series. That means you're probably playing from behind, Ben, and that's not what you want. So tonight's going to be a good test. Kyle Hart making his debut for the San Diego Padres. You know, you don't want to be the guy that interrupts the mojo of 4 straight wins. So hopefully the guys are encouraging him to go out and pitch as best he can. He's the 5th starter. Keep us in a ball game. Keep us close. And never know what this team is capable of in late innings.
So, yeah, they're facing Luis Ortiz, who's making his first start of the season. It's their 4th game. And then you'll get Logan Allen, not the one who used to be a Padre, the other Logan Allen in game 2 of the series against Michael King as the Padres reset their rotation. But you don't really go back to their number 1 because Tanner Bybee, who's their best pitcher, missed opening day because of gastroenteritis. So
he had to pitch yesterday.
So he's not going to pitch in this series. They actually dodge Tanner Bybee. They'll get Ben Lively making his 2nd start against Dylan Cease in the day game on Wednesday to wrap up the opening homestand.
When you're in a good mood, I'm going to start calling you Ben Lively. Lively Ben.
Ben Lethargic or Ben Lively this morning?
Who do we have today? We have Ben Lethargic on the bump. No, Ben Lively is here this morning. Luis Arraez got 9 ABs. Against Luis Ortiz, hitting 556.
I bet he gets at least 1 hit in this series.
I said he's going to get 2 tonight.
Hits well against Ortiz. So we'll see if Padres can keep the momentum rolling. Totally different team, though. I mean, you felt like, okay, the Braves are going to be the tougher team on this homestand, and then maybe you can make hay against the Guardians coming in. Well, you dominated the Braves. The Guardians come in a little bit hotter, and we'll see how they do against a completely different opponent. I think the Padres, though, were more – it was more the Padres than the Braves.
Yeah, 100%.
It wasn't like the Braves were
kicking it around
making a ton of
they literally did kick it around a couple times.
But that wasn't – those weren't errors.
Not
They were
errors.
just hard hit balls by the Padres. I just think the Padres played really, really well, won some close games.
They're feeling it.
2 one-run wins, a come-from-behind win on opening day, and then just a solid all-around victory yesterday. I don't think the Braves necessarily did anything horribly wrong. A couple guys off to slow starts. Michael Harris II, he'll start hitting better. They didn't get a ton out of the bottom of their order. Didn't hit with runners in scoring position
at all. Really.
And that's that. Those will fluctuate. Those numbers over the course of the year. Padres won't always come through with 2 outs. They did pretty well in this series, but so far so good for your San Diego Padres.
Yeah, I expect Jason Hayward to be back in there tonight. I expect, look, you're going to have to give this guy a couple more looks, Benny. As far as the catchers go, I'm not sure who's going to catch Kyle Hart tonight. Going to be Diaz or Maldonado. Maldonado
2 for each of them. Diaz, Maldonado, Diaz.
Yep.
So could go either way tonight.
Diaz hitting 333 off of Luis Ortiz, and Maldonado hitting 500 and just 2 ABs off of Ortiz. So we will see. Jackson Merrill has struggled against Ortiz. Oh no. On his bobblehead night, he gets a knock.
I don't worry about Jackson Merrill anymore.
There's a lot of these guys I don't worry about.
I mean, there's not enough historic numbers to really care about when did he face him against the Pirates? I don't even remember. But
didn't do anything wrong, man. It just feels like he's one of those players that just doesn't do anything wrong. Like, it's great.
Other than getting thrown out trying to steal.
Even then, I'm like, I like it. I like the hustle.
He just wants to join his teammates. The Padres have stolen, I think, 9 bases. They had 4 more steals yesterday.
Yep.
They're running, they're doing things. As Jackson says, they're applying pressure. They don't feel pressure, and they're applying pressure on the other team. He wanted to join that on the base paths.
Keep it going.
Didn't quite succeed. But, you want to have a couple things you still need to work on when you're 21 years old. You hate to be a finished product before you turn 22.
Yeah, 100%.
It's about as close as we've ever seen, for sure. All right, we'll come back. Paulie's got some sound, he says. Some crazy sound in the Reindl Report.
Awkward coach
so awkward,
versus
man.
Reporter audio.
All right, we'll get to that coming up in our final segment of Ben and Woods. That is next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, Woods and I want to tell you about Trust and Will. It's an online way to make sure that your wishes are laid down on a piece of paper so that if something should happen to you, your family has something to go to know what to do in case of your untimely demise.
That's exactly right. Or even your timely demise.
That's true.
It doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure you have everything spelled out, chapter and verse. Look into getting a trust as well to keep your family out of a long, expensive probate court. It's not fun for anybody ever. So no reason not to just go in and get it done. It takes 20 minutes online. All the directions you need right there. It really holds your hand through the whole thing, and it's super affordable as well.
Yeah, I put it off for so many years, and then I realized it's so much better to know I have it done. It's like I didn't want to think about it, so I didn't do it, but it's way better to not think about it, but know it's done.
Correct.
Than have to, I should do this.
I should do
and then you put it out of your mind for a while. Again, just get it done. Go to trustandwill.com. Again, use our code FAN, get 20% off at checkout. They're already affordable prices and free shipping of your estate documents by going to trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
So nice to have baseball back. So nice.
It's just incredible.
The Atlanta Braves haven't wasted any time. They've already made a move. Jesse Chavez, the veteran Jesse Chavez,
man,
has been called up by the Braves, and Hector Neris, who gave up the who gave up the lead on opening day and pitched again yesterday, was DFA'd.
Did not look good
by the Braves.
Did not look good. Jesse Chavez is back in the big leagues again for his 77th.
How old is he?
Season. He's 87 years old.
Feels like it.
He's like 40.
It's funny that the Jesse Orozco was also
84 years
since I've been watching.
41, was a 42nd round draft pick in 2002.
Wow. 23 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dennis Lynn, who we had on earlier, made the point that when the Padres last started 4-0 in 1984, not even Yuli Gurriel had been born. Not a single player on the roster had been born. You and I were around. I was 9, and I went to the games in 1984. Paulie, you weren't around.
I was not.
1984, the last time the Padres started 4-0. It's hard to... Just because they started 4-0 this year doesn't mean they're definitely going to the World Series.
Obviously.
I think someone pointed out the last time the Braves started 0-4, they won the World Series. They won the World Series.
That's right.
So you don't want to get too excited or too panicky after the first 4 games of the year.
Yeah, I'm all in. Oh, this is a good idea. I'd like to do this when Hiroki Sasaki pitches against us. Did you see what happened yesterday in Cincinnati? Robbie Ray was pitching for the Giants, and they started counting down the pitch clock, and he got all rattled and started walking guys. So I'll go ahead and get that out there right now.
That's like something the show would do.
Yeah.
Like when they do the shot clock. That's not bad. That's not a bad call.
It's a really
Who's
good
the
call.
college baseball team?
A&M.
Ball 5.
It's the worst thing
ball
ever.
5. Ball 6.
And by worst,
ball 6.
there's no way to recover from it.
Ball 7.
And
Like,
you're
it's
just
louder and louder and louder.
Your hands are shaking.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I would like to
shoulders
do that.
hurting.
I would like to do that to Hiroki Sasaki very much. See if he just wilts.
Make him cry again.
100% again.
I don't know, maybe you should do it to every pitcher.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, Blake Snell too. Oh my God. Yeah, I like this move, man. I absolutely like this move. I think that's well done, Cincinnati.
They pointed out on the I don't know if it was the Fox or the ESPN, the Fryer was right behind home plate, like waving in like the pitcher's line of sight. I think it was on the ESPN, and they asked, would that be distracting? I go, if you're distracted by what's behind you, you're not locked in on what you should be locked into. But they do it at college basketball games, even at NBA games now, when guys are shooting free throws with the sign. Should they be waving stuff right behind home plate to try to distract the pitcher in those seats that are right behind, the expensive seats?
At Seals games, with about 2 minutes left in the game, we play Paradise City. Because this is a Paradise City, and everyone lights up their cell phone cameras, and they're waving them around. Now, it's a little white ball, and so you're throwing a little...
And your own team is going all around the...
Yeah, your own team is playing too. I know.
Distract the other team. But in baseball, when you're right behind home plate, none of your players are seeing that. Because if you're batting, you're looking out. And if you're only distracting the way the hitters and the fielders are looking, you can target your distraction at one team or another. Meanwhile, when the other team's at the plate, should everybody in the outfield be, cell phone cameras and
doing shine stuff at them?
Cell phone camera's not a flashlight. We're not talking about a laser, but you can always turn on your cell phone flashlight, can't you?
I guess. I don't know. I don't
Oh.
know the rules, but I do like that counting down to the pit. It got Robbie Ray, who's a veteran, was pretty rattled and he started walking guys. It was really good. I like it.
Interesting.
Remember it.
Speaking of interesting, Paulie's got some final headlines for us coming up in the Reindl Report. First, let me tell you, this segment of Ben and Woods is brought to you by Robert Half. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why the recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. Paulie, right after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by MTS. Take the trolley to the game, running every 15 minutes or better. Still a few problems out here. Some debris in lanes southbound side of the 5, right past Mile of Cars Way. Also in the North County, westbound 78 before Woodland Parkway. Reports of a 2-vehicle accident. Looks like that is now over to the right shoulder. Southbound side of the 15, right before Poway Road. A collision over to the right shoulder. Don't let traffic drag your day down, whether headed to the office or game day. Go the easy way with MTS. Trolleys run every 15 minutes or better throughout the day. Learn more and plan your trolley trip at sdmts.com. That's sdmts.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. Our
Good
discussion
morning.
has led to people arguing about the wave now.
Gotta get rid of
doing
the
the wave at Padres games.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do it when the other team's pitching it on defense.
Right.
But you don't want to distract your batters. Maybe just don't do it at all.
Yeah,
Just don't do it. Yeah. All right. It is the Reindl Report brought to you by the Craft Taco. Whether you're craving tacos for lunch or a craft beer for happy hour, the Craft Taco is the answer. Now open in Balboa Park and Sereno Valley. All right, gentlemen, some cringe audio. This actually could have been a don't do this. We just had too many to choose from this morning. So going to go to women's college basketball. We have talked about this person before, I think in Don't Do This, talking about LSU head coach Kim Mulkey, who's getting absolutely dragged today. I saw First Take had a whole segment about her. Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp, they all agreed she's a very rude person, or at least she can
But
be.
she's very successful as
Very
well.
successful.
Player,
Great
then
coach.
coach. Beat the Aztecs.
We've seen this
in the first
before.
round this
A lot
year,
of great coaches, not very good with the media. So LSU in the women's college basketball tournament, they were bounced in the Elite Eight yesterday. 3 seed LSU, they lost to the number 1 seed UCLA, 72-65. LSU does not advance to the Final Four. Of course, that's where they were hoping to go. So we go to the post game, and Kim Mulkey is at the podium, and listen to this exchange with her and a KLSU student. Now, as soon as I heard the man identify himself as KLSU, I go, that's college radio. I can almost guarantee it.
Of course.
I looked it up. Of course, it is college radio. He is a student reporter.
Just learning the business.
Jaden Smith, KLSU Sports. Coach, it's the second straight year you guys get eliminated in the Elite Eight. Yeah.
Is that terrible or is that good?
Terrible.
How many Final Fours you play in?
None.
So it's probably pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
This is actually a pretty snappy comeback on her part. It was snappy.
I mean, she put him on the spot.
She
I mean,
did.
You know, it's not his job to decide whether it's good or terrible. It's just to ask the question.
Second year. What was the question?
I don't know what it was going to be. Like, hey, what do you need to do to get over the hump to get to the Final Four
Yeah, the
or
clip
something?
ended
Probably. Yeah.
before the
It's probably
actual question.
fairly
You can,
legitimate
like, hear him.
question. She's very, I mean, she seems like she's just very easy to
She's pretty funny. That was funny.
be in.
Jaden Smith, KLSU Sports. Coach, it's the second straight year you guys get eliminated in the Elite Eight. Yeah.
Is that terrible or is that good?
Is that terrible?
No,
or is that good?
so stop. He goes, She goes, "That's terrible, isn't it?"
He didn't do anything.
He was
wrong.
nervous.
He was nervous, and he didn't do anything wrong. He was
nervous laugh.
He was laying a little context for his question. I would have said, second straight year, you've been eliminated in the Elite Eight. What do you think next year you need to do to get your team over the hump? That's a legitimate question if that's where he was going.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's different.
It doesn't mean you're saying it was bad that you got eliminated this year.
Well, then she goes, "Is that good or is that terrible?" Her point being, "Hey, man, getting this far is pretty good, right?"
Yeah,
That's
he could have
pretty
said
good.
It's pretty good, but what else do you need to do to take the next step? I don't know. She put him on the spot though. She grew up in Tickfaw, Louisiana.
I liked her response.
She's Louisiana.
I didn't like that it was to
Louisiana
a
through and
student
through.
reporter. If Brian Dutcher does that to Bernie Wilson, everyone's laughing
That's
about
fair.
it,
Yeah, that's
including
fair.
Bernie. The 20-year-old college kid who's just trying to like learn the ropes, and he's getting called out on a pretty big stage,
Very big
the
stage,
Elite
yeah.
Eight. He's mortified now.
Kim Mulkey's autobiography is called "Won't Back Down." So
I believe it. I believe it.
Get a sense of who she is right there.
It's hard, man. When somebody snaps back at you, and of course, remember Ben and Sal Palantonio. You get the nervous
You
laughter,
do.
and then he freaked out. He had the nervous laughter after that, making fun of your nervous laughter. It was I made you playing. It's pretty good, man. I gotta say, I laughed when I saw it. I laughed.
All right. Well, speaking of college basketball, Ben had a couple of updates earlier in the show. New Mexico, they have their new head coach. It's UCSD's Eric Olin. But New Mexico and Eric Olin now, they're going to be without their star player, Donovan Dent.
My word.
Good Lord. There was reports all of last week that it was just a matter of when, not if, that he was going to be transferring to UCLA after entering the transfer portal. That is happening. It's just a matter of how much money will Donovan Dent make now as a member of the UCLA Bruins when it comes to NIL. And originally it was in the $2 to $3 million range, and then reports on like Friday and Saturday
That's crazy.
started to come out that
What's the real number?
it's actually more than $3 million. Yeah.
He's a good player.
Anywhere between $3 and $4 million.
Wow.
My buddy sent that to me, and we're all talking about it. We go, why would any like fringe player in the NBA potentially, like, why would you ever go pro? Why wouldn't you milk as much college eligibility as you possibly can when you're making $3 million a year?
Oh, why?
Because you ain't making that in the NBA.
You said, why would any NBA player go pro? You meant
Fringe,
Why would
fringe,
any
though.
fringe NBA prospect in college?
Prospect, not
Like-
player.
Like, if you're gonna like Cooper Flag, go to the NBA, you're gonna have all the endorsement
Yeah,
deals. You're gonna get a
100%.
shoe line, all of that. But guys that are maybe not gonna be a top 5
Second round
draft pick,
picks,
second round pick, not
yeah.
a lottery pick or anything like that. If you're making anywhere between $1 million and now
So-
apparently over $3 million, I'm like, they have ruined
What
college
would
basketball.
what would Tim Tebow make in the
Insane.
NIL
Oh,
deal?
my-
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel
Insane.
makes $15 million a year or something.
I mean,
Like,
what is Arch Manning? Has barely thrown a pass.
He makes
He's
like
making
$7 million a year.
so much, and that's a good point, Paulie, because you say, well, they can do endorsements once they become pros, but the NIL deals are artificially inflated by boosters. No one's getting the actual, like, their dollars worth out of their NIL investment. I'm sorry, but Donovan Dent shows up at a car dealership for a weekend. They're not selling $2 million worth of Subarus at Westwood Subaru
Because Donovan Dent's there.
Dent showed up. He's going to UCLA because the booster is willing to overpay NIL money because he wants the team to be good. And that's why it's not a fair marketplace for NIL. They're not getting the actual value for their name, image, and likeness. They're getting an inflated value because boosters are desperate for their team to win and steal players from other programs. That's what's wrong with the NIL system. And, athletes are taking advantage of it, and good for them that they're getting it right now. But it's not good for college basketball that this is happening.
That's a lot of dough. So LA trying to buy the best players again.
They're tired of not being the best basketball program in Southern California anymore. They feel, well, maybe we can buy our way back past SDSU. And you saw something yesterday about Magoon Guath that entered the transfer portal, and that he said he's still considering potentially returning to SDSU.
Paulie sent this to us last night.
Was that Paulie?
Yeah, it was Paulie that sent it over.
Somebody sent it to me. I sent it to you guys. It's Sam Kaiser from 24/7 High School Sports. He says San Diego State transfer Magoon Guath told whoever. He had a Zoom meeting with Kentucky today. This was yesterday.
Following in
Guath-
Lamont Butler's footsteps, perhaps.
Yeah. Guath plans to have a Zoom call with Michigan today and tells me he's also considering a return to San Diego State, one of the more intriguing portal prospects. Now, I guess that's just, hey, thanks for still thinking of us. I can't imagine an athlete has really ever done that, at least not in college basketball, not in this new era. You transfer out, you're done. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go into the portal, you can
sign with anybody.
You can sign with you come back.
It was wasn't it Trey White, who was the Aztecs in football, was one of their best defensive end. Trey White entered the portal at the end of the season, and then they talked him into coming back and he's returning for this upcoming season for San Diego State. So you can, if you get the right offer and you don't like the offers you get somewhere else, you can come back.
Entering the transfer portal is very similar now to declaring for the NBA draft, and then
but you could pull yourself out. I mean, what a tease, though. I would honestly it's better if he just says, "No, I've talked to Kentucky, and I'm doing a Zoom with Michigan, and we'll see where this leads me." Not, I got
sure Dutch should be absolutely thrilled to get him back.
100%.
If he is considering it.
You want to talk about welcoming somebody back with open arms.
Can they offer what Kentucky or Michigan is going to offer from an NIL perspective? Almost certainly not. But, I mean, at least the door is open, I guess.
Yeah, one of my buddies who's got some connections to the basketball team, he said, "Oh, they don't do that. When you say you're done, and you turn in your paperwork. They don't." And I go, I think for Magoon Guath,
if Magoon Guath picks up the phone and goes, "You know what?
I made a mistake.
I changed my mind. I made a mistake. I want to come back." Dutch is going to go, "Yeah, sorry, no take backs." No.
I do think even if that is a policy, which I can't confirm if that is or not, but if that were their policy, I think they would probably say, "You know what? We can make an exception for this one."
Yeah. All day long. It would be malpractice if they didn't. Right?
Oh, yeah. That got out. And then finally, love a good documentary. Are you guys excited to watch the new documentary that is in production right now around our old friend, Miss Haley Welch? Aktua herself.
No, I'm not.
She is going to be the subject of an upcoming documentary that's like not just one of her friends with an iPhone or whatever. It's like it's well produced, and it's from Bungalow Media and Entertainment, and it will chronicle her entire rise and fall in this era of social media and going viral from just a 5-second clip on the streets to scamming people out of millions of dollars,
disappearing,
everything in between.
Will I watch the Aktua documentary?
You will.
I won't.
You won't.
Yeah, you will.
No, I won't. You know how discerning I am about what I watch.
You watch everything.
I watch nothing. I watch The Sopranos twice a week.
You watch every documentary.
No. I watch The Sopranos at least every month. Again, because I can't find anything else to watch. So no, I will not. Doc Tua is genius.
Dominic, very good.
All right, maybe I will watch it.
Very good.
I do love a catchy name. I watched some clips of the Aktua podcast. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. Again, I do stand by the fact that podcast microphones should cost $50,000 each for some of these people. So I will not watch.
You need a barrier to entry.
There's got to be.
There's got to be a barrier to some entry.
It was the worst podcast. We played some of it. It was horrific.
It was really bad.
It was really, hey, what are you doing, Pookie? Nothing. What are you doing? It's unbelievable. It's like watching the Manning cast. Terrible.
All right, everybody. That is it for us on a Monday. Padres Guardians tonight. We will be back at 6 a.m. tomorrow to talk all through it. Braden's coming up next for executive producer Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Monday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.